Welcome back to another episode of Foreplay. We are brought to you by Chevy. The athletic, bold, commanding Equinox EV helps you show up in style. Though looking good on the course is still up to you. If it's a distance you're after, Equinox EV offers 319 miles of EPA estimated electric range with front wheel drive. It's been an amazing, amazing weekend of golf. We get into the whole entire thing. The Tommy Fleetwood collapse, the Keegan Bradley comeback. Is Keegan going to be a playing captain here at Bethpage during the Ryder Cup? We get into the Ryder Cup towards the end of the show, the fact that we are on our way to Boston as you're listening to this to play in the Barstool Sports Ryder Cup. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We cannot wait to get that done. We also can't wait to get into our Chevy. We always have a Chevy when we're on the road. Leave the driving to the Equinox EV and show up to the course energized with available Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology. Equinox EV has a massive 17-inch diagonal center screen, the largest of any EV in its class. Can't wait to get into a Chevy. We always have a Chevy on the road. Chevy, they've been doing this for over 100 years, over a decade in the EV game. And when it comes to EVs, Equinox EV is the smartest choice that you can make. That is the Equinox EV from Chevy. Let's get into the show. You get $5 million cash, but every time someone says Bass Pro Shops, your ears hear it at 180 decibels.
That's so specific. God, that's so specific.
I'm going to need to use some of that money to pay for like hearing damage
like,
or something like
you're
that.
Just like, oh, what'd you guys do this weekend? Oh, we went camping. We stopped at, it's like, no, it's like Bass Pro Shops. Boom. Fuck.
There's blood coming from your ears. Like, what
your ears are bleeding. He's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, dude. It's like, I just said Bass Pro Shops. You're fucking on the floor. Foreplay presented by Barstool Sports, brought to you by Chevrolet. We are back. What a weekend of golf it was. It's the Trent and Frankie show. Riggs is out in Arizona at the Barstool Classic. We are holding down the fort here on the podcast to talk about what was an incredible, incredible golf tournament in Connecticut at TPC River Highlands. The Travelers Championship always seems to pack a big punch, even though it is the shortest golf course on tour. I think about 6,800 yards, usually crazy, crazy low scores. But this week, with the winds up and all the tension, all there bottled up at the top of the leaderboard, you had Scotty Scheffler in the mix and Tommy Fleetwood and Keegan Bradley and all of these guys fighting for that spot. The way that it ended, Trent, my goodness, like for a middle of summer, June 22nd event, that was must watch, edge of your seat golf. Every single shot felt like it was a major.
Yeah, it was, it really, I mean, the guys who were fighting for that victory made it such a bigger deal. Like there was a lot of talk about Tommy Fleetwood. I mean, he played well for 99.9% of the tournament. Everyone's like, when is he finally going to win on the PGA Tour? I think he's 0 for 84 in his PGA Tour starts. He's such a good golfer. He's a great guy and everybody's rooting for him. They want him to win it. And, he really let it slip there down the stretch. And the guy who was coming up behind him was a local legend in Keegan Bradley, who everybody in that area loves. This is the tournament, I think, for Keegan. Even outside of the majors, it feels like this is the one he wants to win more than any other tournament. He's got so much local support. And on top of it, he is the 2025 Ryder Cup captain. Tommy Fleetwood is from the UK. He will be on the other side of the Ryder Cup. That added another element to it. And I'll be honest, I felt a little like I didn't know how to feel because I really do love Tommy Fleetwood. We've done so much with him. He's a TaylorMade athlete. Everyone behind the scenes at TaylorMade is like, he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet. And that has turned out to be true. I feel like every time I see him, we are good friends and we really connect on a pretty cool level. So I was like, all right, this is going to be great. We're going to watch our guy, Tommy, finally get the monkey off his back and win a PGA Tour event. And then here comes Keegan Bradley, who, as I mentioned, has a pretty big role coming up later on this year. And we're big Ryder Cup guys. We're big America guys. So I was being pulled in both directions as I watched that 18th hole. Like, who were you rooting for when they were on the 18th hole? Who were you rooting for to win?
Yeah, it was hard. So I got a lot of things to say about it. First off, got to tip your cap and give all the flowers to Keegan Bradley. He went out and he won the golf tournament. $3.6 million. Now he's 7th in golf in official world golf rankings, which is outrageous going into the Ryder Cup. I mean, he's 6th on the official world golf rankings out of Americans. Only Rory is up there in the mix. He's second behind Scotty, but you've got this guy now that, first of all, always plays well in the New England area. This is the second time that he's won the Travelers in 3 years. He's just absolutely raking in the cash at this thing because, if you remember, it used to not be that big of a tournament. It was like an $8 million person before 2022, I think it was. And they've always had big winners, Xander and Dustin Johnson. And they got Keegan Bradley twice, Scotty Scheffler. But since they've upped the purse to 20-something million dollars, Keegan's won twice. That is how you really show up in your hometown, quote unquote, is what he likes to call it. I got a lot of shit yesterday, it felt like, when I wrote that Tommy deserved to win. I sent out a tweet. Wow, what a performance by Keegan, but gosh, am I like devastated for Tommy Fleetwood, which is alluding to what you were kind of feeling yesterday, where it's like this guy, 42 top tens, 0 wins on the PGA Tour. He's becoming this name of like, how the hell does Tommy Fleetwood not have a PGA Tour? When you say that to people that are just casual sports fan, I said to my wife when I was like, we're watching it, and I'm like, Tommy's just never going to get a win. She's like, oh, majors, right? I'm like, no, he's never won on the PGA Tour ever. He's this huge name. He's this big, like, sellable, marketable guy, and he's just never won on the PGA Tour. It's incredible how popular and loved he is without getting that win. Just goes to show how good of a guy he is, which is kind of what I was tweeting about. And I said that he deserved this one, and I think people take that word so literally, where they're saying, well, he collapsed at the end, which is absolutely what it was. You go into the final 3 holes and you go 2 over, and you got Keegan Bradley. I think Keegan birdied 15 and then obviously birdied 18. Like, you can't fumble your way into a finish, especially when you've gone 41 times in the top 10 at that point without a win. So in no doubt in my mind, is it a complete collapse. You start the day off. I think he started the day off with 3 bogeys in the first 4 holes.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, like, I know that things aren't going the way that you want, and then all of a sudden he starts to right the ship. Through 5 through 15, he played at 2 under, and all of a sudden 16 makes a bogey, 18 he makes a bogey. The club change on 18, going from the 9-iron to the pitching wedge, stepping off the shot, hitting it short, then putting it short and leaving it behind Keegan. There's so many things that you watch and you just want to puke all over yourself. So, like, knowing Tommy as the guy and knowing the team behind him and his caddy and just like Adrian at TaylorMade and all these guys that are always on Team Tommy. He's using the R7 quad mini driver. He's ripping it around. He's hitting fairways like crazy. The reason I say that he deserved it is because he has gone 41 times in the top 10 without winning going into that event. He did shoot a 66, 65, 63. Came out on Sunday, definitely didn't have his stuff in the beginning and then righted the ship. It's like, at that point, if you're going to tell me that this guy got to 14 under when everyone else was kind of struggling throughout the whole entire week, that's what I meant. Like, of all the weeks, of all the times that this guy's played, this one felt like he deserved it. He played the best that he could have played going into those final stretches of holes. And just because you fumble it and you collapse doesn't mean that the deservingness goes away, in my opinion. Like, I get that, like, you might think that when I say the word deserve, you think that it should be handed to you, but that's not what I meant. I meant, like, there's no defense being played in golf. So, like, you've played the way that you've played, and like, I just thought that he played well enough to, like, this was the one. And I know that he feels the same way. We have audio about from him talking, and he's completely gutted, as everyone likes to use that word now, especially with Europeans. They like to use the word gutted. Everyone's gutted for Tommy Fleetwood, and they're also elated for Keegan Bradley. There is this, like, rock in a hard place with this one because it's like the Ryder Cup matchup, and it's also, maybe we're too close to it because we're buddies with the guy, but we felt like this real soft spot for Tommy Fleetwood.
Well, context does matter because I think if it were Russell Henley, who was also in the mix, if it were him who had that birdie putt to beat Tommy Fleetwood on 18 and he made it and Russell ended up winning over Tommy, I think people would be less sensitive to you tweeting something like that. It's the fact that it's Keegan and that he is the Ryder Cup captain and that everybody's pulling for him and that it's a hometown tournament for him. Like, that, I think, is the real. People just wanted Keegan to win. Like, I do think we're just a little close to it because of the Tommy factor, like you mentioned. But everybody else in the world pretty much was, or at least certainly in America, were rooting for Keegan Bradley to make that comeback and win that golf tournament. That's why I think, again, if you had tweeted Tommy Fleetwood deserved to win that golf tournament, but like hell of an effort out of Russell Henley, I think you're getting less pushback. people just love Keegan Bradley. We love Keegan Bradley. He's been the people's golfer forever. Like he's been very close to Barstool. He's been very attached to Barstool for a very long time. So I totally get it. It is a rock and a hard place for us in terms of how much we like Tommy Fleetwood, for sure.
Yeah, and you go through and you got, I think what I'm seeing here is like 20 players out of the top 20 players of the event. He's the only one that shot in the 70s on Sunday. So, it's not like it's not like I know the wind was up all week and you saw some crazy numbers out there from guys. Especially, Scotty Scheffler just couldn't get his rounds going. Scotty Scheffler put out a 72 on Saturday. He absolutely collapsed. I don't want people to think that I don't think that he collapsed. And Keegan absolutely came out of nowhere and just grabbed it. He went out and grabbed it. He shot 63 on Saturday, came in firing the whole entire crowd up, makes the birdie, like I said, on 15 after a bogey on 14, but made a birdie on 13, and then comes in on 18 and just stuffs it. He stuffs it in the moment that he had to get it. He's the Ryder Cup captain. I couldn't be happier for him. This takes nothing away. But me feeling sad for Tommy Fleetwood takes nothing away for how excited I am for Keegan Bradley. The fact that this guy now is going to be a playing captain in the Ryder Cup. There's tweets and there's people on Golf Channel and all these things now conversing about, are they bringing in Tiger Woods now to maybe be the captain because Keegan Bradley can't do both. It's such an important Ryder Cup at Bethpage. You're coming off a big loss. Is this guy really going to be on the course and also captaining all the pairings and seeing how everyone's going? Wow. We've got a lot that now has happened because of this win. And, a huge part of it is the tragedy that is Tommy Fleetwood. That fact that he can't get it done. I don't know what comes, when I'm watching him, he was walking from the 17th green. He made that par putt and gave Finn his, is it Ian? Is it Ian or Finn? What do we call him? Fino. I knew it was in between there. I was going to say in or Finn. He gave him that look like, woof, like glad that one went in. And he kind of just like, let's go to the next hole. He's walking from the green to the tee box and he takes out a water bottle and he starts chugging it to the next tee. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, if you're his name's Oz, everyone likes to call him Oz, but Oz the mentalist, if you're him and you're human reading and your facial, you're reading humans and the way that they react,
body
and all
language,
of their mind readers, but like you're reading, body language, body language, you're reading all of that stuff. You're seeing a nervous lad there is what you're seeing. You're seeing a guy that's like, all right, this is it. All these moments have come to this tee box. I can now win a PGA Tour event. He steps up, he rips a driver, and then he's in the fairway, and all of those moments probably come rushing into him where he's like, this is it. Fairway, it's a 9-iron. I've got this. I can hit to this green. I can hit to this pin. I've done it a million times. And then this sense of doubt creeped in where he starts to question if he has the right club. And that's where it becomes a tragedy because he was playing so confidently. He was moving through the whole entire golf course, doing his damn thing. And then at that moment, he switched. And that's a hard one to swallow. That is because you end up coming up short. You go from a 9 to a pitch and then you come up short. It's like, it's exactly what you didn't have to do. That's exactly what you're doubting yourself going into that club change, Well,
and then it's set up for as bad of a lag putt as you can hit. Like you're just clearly the wheels are kind of coming off here and you just want to hit a putt that's close enough so you can finish out with a par and just like, all right, I did what I could. All right, even if Keegan makes a birdie, we're going to a playoff. Instead, he does what happened to, what was it, Victor and JJ Spawn, puts the ball right behind Keegan's ball, and now you're going to give him a read. And then once that lag putt ended up where it was, it felt like it was over. Like he wasn't going to make that putt, and then Keegan was going to bury it because all the momentum was in his direction. And it's devastating. I think tragedy is the right word. And, it might sound a little crazy that we're talking about it's the Travelers. It is a signature event. The fields have gotten way better as the years have gone on. But like the main thing is that it was Tommy Fleetwood's best opportunity to finally win a PGA Tour event. And it was right in front of him. And he had it for 71 holes. And then the moment got a little big and he let it slip. And I feel horrible for him. And we do have the audio if we want to play that.
Did you see Kip Henley's tweet about Tommy Fleetwood's putt hitting?
No.
Dude, this is a audio podcast, but we're also on YouTube, so please go subscribe to Foreplay Podcast on YouTube. Brendan Jones, can you pull up Kip Henley on Twitter. He wrote, "Hey, Tommy Fleetwood, I know this hurts, but this should make you feel some better. I know KB is a tiny bit more down the hill and straighter, but your putt 100% hits a ball mark and dives dead right. You both hit the same exact putt within 1/4 of a ball at least, meaning that his putt actually should have went in. I personally think that he pushed it a little bit. It looks like he sliced it a little bit off the toe if you watch it. Kind of slices it, but that may be the camera angle. Brendan, pull up this tweet if you can, and I want to show you how insane this ball jets to the right. It's nuts, dude. It looks like it hits like a pebble or a mark and just completely makes a right turn.
So I read, or I saw a headline about this, but I didn't go back and rewatch the putt. I'm very interested to see what happened because, yeah, it just, I mean, Fleetwood's putt never sniffed the hole. It just never had a chance. All right, here we are. It is an audio podcast, but we're on YouTube as well.
It's fine.
All right, Fleetwood's over the putt here. All right, they got to zoom in. Look.
Watch this thing jet to the right. Watch this. Boom.
Oh yeah, it does.
It actually goes up in the air a little bit and clicks right now. If you keep it going. So watch here. Boom, goes to the right. And then when you watch Keegan's putt, it's the same type of roll. He does start it a little bit more left center than he does. Now, I don't know if it's a different camera angle because this one seems like it's a little bit more head on. Maybe the camera guy moved, but that one just goes smooth right into the back of the cup. Doesn't really move that much. I don't think that Tommy Fleetwood pushed it that much where he didn't even sniff the hole. You know what I'm saying? It didn't even lip out.
Yeah.
So I think that I do think that thing pushes it way right. You saw that?
It does. You're right about the camera angle. I don't know if they're the same, but it looks like Keegan takes a little bit more outside left.
It does. I think one guy's looking like left center and the other guy's looking left edge.
I agree.
But I think from that distance, man, like a guy like Tommy Fleetwood's making that putt fucking 9 times out of 10. I guess this is the one time that he pushes it. But yeah, it's no excuses to be made. Keegan comes out, he makes the putt, he makes the birdie, he wins fucking $3.6 million, whatever it was. Incredible performance out of him. Tommy Fleetwood, completely just devastated. We have the audio. You can just hear it in his voice. And good on him for stopping and talking with the media. I know that's been a lot of headlines recently, especially with Rory, where like when guys don't play well or things don't go their way, they like to leave. I know Colin did it and Rory's done it. Tommy Fleetwood goes right up to the mic and you could just see on his face, like it makes me want to puke just watching him right here. He's just a sad man. Deservingly so. He should have won this one, and this is what he had to say about it.
You know, I'm upset now. I'm gutted. I'm angry. When it calms down, look at the things that I did well. Look at the things that I can learn from. I said yesterday, I haven't been in this position all year, so it's been a while. Felt like I did a lot of good things, but there was things that I, definitely can do better, and I have to do better. So, the most stupid thing to do and the worst thing to do would be make a week like this a hindrance to what you do going forwards. I obviously played great. I put myself in a great position. I was leading the tournament of 71 holes. I just want to, make sure that I can put myself in this position as soon as possible again, and try and correct what I did this time. But like I say, right now I would love to, just go and sulk somewhere, and maybe I will do. But there's just no point making it a negative for the future, really, and take the positives and move on.
He brings up such a good point. Like if Tommy Fleetwood had finished tied for 11th, nobody's even talking about Tommy Fleetwood.
No.
And there's no negatives. There's no positives. There's no nothing. It's just like, all right, you finished T11, you took home a pretty good paycheck, and now you're on to the next tournament. It's the fact that he was so close to winning and probably should have won, depending on who you ask. And there was only one guy in the entire field who played better than him is the reason that we're all talking about how this is one of the worst losses and choke jobs in golf in the last couple of months. But you can't let that dominate your feelings. How hard is it not to? Everyone is telling him like, man, that's a bummer. That's a disappointment. That sucks what happened. He finished second. I think he took home just under $2 million. Like, it's a good week on the PGA Tour if you're a professional golfer. It's just the fact that you got so close that now people are saying, and your own mind is saying, like, that almost was like a shit week that we had there. I'm gutted, as he would say. Like, but you got to be like, all right, we took a lot of positives from this because we were, potentially one little pebble on the green on the 72nd hole from either winning this thing or going to a playoff. So I like that that's his attitude, but he deserves to go and sulk and maybe eat fast food in the parking lot. Like that's what you can do if you're him.
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about an individual sport, you are allowed to take positives away when you do not win, because you are quite literally getting paid for your performance.
Yep.
You are finishing in a position where you're happy where you finish. Like a top 10 is huge. You get points, you get world ranking points, you get Ryder Cup points. Like all of these things are good. You can take away a lot of positives from week to week in a PGA Tour season. So that is a true statement that he's making. It's just in other sports, like when you get so close to winning, usually it's just a loss. So like, you have a great season and then you lose in the first round of the playoffs. And then you're thinking to yourself, how the hell are we going to get the strength to like do this all again and get back to this position? And more often than not, it does happen. I mean, you see these guys that go on crazy runs, they come out of nowhere. Even in other sports, like you see like a hockey team just keep making it back to the Eastern Conference Finals or the Western Conference Finals. They keep doing it. Or, like the Oilers, they keep getting to the Stanley Cup Finals and losing to the Panthers. And like they're thinking to themselves, and you even see McDavid talking like, yeah, we just like got to get back here. It's like so daunting for Tommy Fleetwood to be standing over that microphone telling everyone like, yeah, I hope that I'm like back in this position again where I play the best out of all these golfers for 71 holes, and I have that position, and I'm in that position. I have that opportunity to not switch that club and not second guess myself and not hit that little divot and make the putt and just win. That's like what I want to take away from this is like I am hungry for this position and this opportunity again, but that's hard to like. That's what separates the greats from just the average, just people that go out and golf every day. That's why he is Tommy Fleetwood, is that his mindset's like, I want to get back here now. When we would be like, are we ever going to do that again? Like all the stars aligned. We played perfect for 71 holes.
Think about the conversation surrounding JJ Spawn after the Players Championship. When it was, the conversation that he had with his caddy on 17, and, you got the playoff with Rory, and you're thinking like, this is JJ Spawn, obviously a really good golfer, but you're like, all right, how many chances are you going to get on the biggest stage for one of the biggest titles in golf to win and take home the victory and be like, oh my gosh, I accomplished this great thing. All right. So it doesn't happen at the Players. And then look what happens at Oakmont, the US Open. He's back in the mix, and he hits a big putt and he wins the whole thing, and he achieves what it's hard to talk about it in the moment. Like right after the Players, you're like, man, I learned a lot here, and hopefully I put myself in a position to win again. It's an easier thing to talk about after down the road when you win the thing and you're like, yeah, I was obviously playing really good golf during the Players. I almost won it. One guy beat me, and I just kind of continued with my game on and on the road, and then I won at Oakmont. And that's, it's a culmination of JJ Spawn didn't come out of nowhere. It was like, yeah, he clearly was playing well enough to compete at these big events. And then when you finally win one, it's like, okay. So with that in mind, I will say I am thinking about taking Tommy Fleetwood at the Open Championship. Almost a lock for me.
I really like that bet. I actually love that because you're going to hope that he has that fire. And this is the opposite of the Rory McIlroy effect. When Rory won the Masters, all I thought about on this very show was he doesn't have that drive to want to achieve what he just achieved. It's not in his being anymore. It's not what's ticking his brain. It's not the only thing he's thinking about. He already achieved it. So now going forward, it's going to be hard to ignite that fire. Tommy Fleetwood has the fire, even though he might be older and it seems like he might not be at the peak of his career. He's already had 42 top 10s. That's a lot of top 10s where you didn't get it done or you couldn't get over the hill. He has that fire raging inside of him. He is a pure ball striker. He can get it done. You look at a guy like Ben Griffin, who like seemingly out of nowhere, the guy was on our show talking about how he was like crunching numbers for like a real estate firm or whatever he was talking about in Arizona. Yeah. Then all of a sudden he goes T8 at the PGA Championship, wins the Charles Schwab, is second at the Memorial, T10 at the US Open, T14 this week at Travelers. He's just finding himself in the top 15 in every single event he plays in now. That's what golf does. You find something and then you gotta hone it in. You gotta harness it, and you cannot let little moments like this, even though it feels like a huge moment, you can't let little moments like this deter you or become a hindrance, as he says, to your future success. Because every other guy that ends up getting through it is a product of what could happen. They're proving it. A guy like Ben Griffin is proving it. He went cut at the Players, cut at Valspar. Then he went out and won the Zurich. And then he won the Charles Schwab. And then he came in second at the Memorial. Like they just fucking fire it at you. It's like an onslaught. It's never ending. It's just fucking You know what I mean?
Dude, our
And
guy
that's what
Nico
he
had
needs
it
to build.
earlier in
He's
the season.
Shots
Remember that?
on net, pucks on net. Like, let's just keep it going. When a hockey team loses a game, but they led the other team in shots on goal, and maybe 2 fucking stinker goals got through, but they lost the game 2-1, and they felt like they had a good game. The coaches in there being like, boys, next game we just keep that same thing going, and let's, like, pucks are gonna find the net. We're gonna get a win. We're gonna keep it going. We're not changing anything up. We liked that game. Tommy Fleetwood liked that game today. He loved it on Sunday. I mean, maybe not on Sunday, but this week he loved his game. So he has to somehow take a positive away from that.
I'm not worried about Tommy Fleetwood. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he's got the right mental approach. He's got a great team around him. That he's going to be my pick, I think, for the Open Championship, because I think he's going to roll it right into that coming up, and I think he's going to play really well there.
There's nothing like getting to a baseball game, especially last minute. Luckily for us, we have Game Time. We only use Game Time. They are the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to showtime. We talk about it a lot. There's nothing better than going to a show, especially here during the summer. We've got Jones Beach Amphitheater. They've got Creed coming in July. We've got baseball that is just ripping right now. I know Trent's high on the Cubs. The Cubs are flying through Wrigley every single week. They're loving them Wrigleyvilles up right now. The Mets, my buddy Tommy actually just wrote in our group chat that he's trying to go to the Mets game. I sent him to Game Time. He was looking. He's like, oh, where's the best place to go during a 4:00 game? We looked on ChatGPT. The third base line at Citi Field gets shade before any other place in the stadium. So he went on Game Time. He looked at GT picks on the third base line, found himself into the game. That's just what this does. That's what this app does. It gets you to events quickly, easily, and as cheap as you can get that across the entire board of ticket prices.
Yeah, no, I'm going to try to get to a Cubs game at some point during the season. They're incredible. They've been playing really good. Pete Crow Armstrong is my favorite baseball player right now. Really fun to watch, but there's baseball going all around the country. It's going on. So get yourself a ticket, go on Game Time, cheapest price, best ticket. It's the best app for tickets.
You can put all these savings back in your pocket and spend them at the ballpark on a hot dog, a new hat, some good old-fashioned Cracker Jacks. What are you waiting for? I'm going to buy those Creed tickets, by the way, on Game Time.
Yep.
So I'm getting those immediately. So you can do the same. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code FORE, that's FORE, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code FORE, FORE, for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time.
Foreplay is sponsored by Roe. Roe Sparks are a 2-in-1 prescription treatment for stronger, harder erections. They hit the bloodstream faster because they dissolve under the tongue. And getting hard faster means having more sex. After they dissolve, they work in 15 minutes on average. Roe Sparks can give you thicker, longer erections than you usually have because they get fuller. Roe Sparks gives you the boost to last longer, so it's more fun for both of you.
Roe stays active in your system for up to 36 hours, so you can go back to back to back, round after round, be ready for the morning after. We love Roe. You love to have sex in your life. You have to have sex in your life. That is something that, humans do. We have sex, and then having sex better with just fuller, longer lasting erections is just a good thing. Be ready for play with Roe Sparks. With Roe Sparks, you can get the erection that you've wanted. Roe connects guys with a medical provider, 100% online, so there's no awkward conversation with in-person providers. If approved, treatment ships directly to their door. Connect with the provider at roe.co/foreplay to find out if the prescription Roe Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/foreplay, FOREPLAY, for $15 off your first order. And on the other side of that, we've got Keegan Bradley, who was on with our guy Brandel Chambly. Brendan, if you want to roll that clip. This is how Keegan was feeling after surging back, a dominating comeback where you felt like he could do no wrong in the final 3 holes. I mean, he also had that incredible Saturday, like I said. This guy, man, is the heart and soul right now of Team USA Golf. Obviously, the Ryder Cup captain. We had him in a video earlier this year at Torrey Pines where it's all he could talk about. It's all he can think about is the Ryder Cup. He just wants to play in the Ryder Cup. He wants to be at the Ryder Cup in full swing. Last year, there was a story about how we obviously all saw when he didn't get picked for the team and he had his little luggage and his suitcase all packed from the last time he was at the Ryder Cup because he didn't want to open it back up and remind himself of all those memories. He wants to keep it locked and loaded, zipped up for the next time he goes and plays in a Ryder Cup. This guy becomes captain because you know for damn sure no one thought that this guy was going to make it on his own accord, like with his own stats and his own merits, right? You thought that they wanted this fire in that locker room, so they're going to make him the captain because there's no chance he's making the team on his own. Well, flip this script on everyone's head. Keegan Bradley is here to stay. Listen to this guy talk about where he's feeling his games at and with the Ryder Cup. What's happening with the Ryder Cup now?
As a captain, your job is to pick and put the best possible team out there. Now, let's just imagine you're the captain and we're looking at a player objectively. And Data Golf, which I tend to go to because world rankings is a little bit skewed these days. Data Golf's got this player. He's 8th in the world with a bullet, by the way. Probably going to go up to 6th or 5th. Strokes gained total. And I look at that a lot. Who's playing the best right now? You're 7th. I mean, this player is 7th. Scoring average, this player is 8th. He finished 8th in the PGA. He finished 7th in the Memorial. He just won the Travelers. And Rich, does he have the crowd on his side?
Fires up the crowd. Went to St. John's. Knows Beth Page Black
right?
very
this
well.
This guy's got the crowd, right?
I'd be taking a hard look at that
captain,
guy.
I mean, do you not give that player a hard look?
It's just such an unbelievable thing in that, you know, I've spent 15 years of my career here. Every year my goal is to make the Ryder Cup team. And then, you know, this would be the year where I was like, you know what, I'm excited to just be the captain. And then, of course, you know, something like this happens. But we'll see. This definitely changes things. I definitely wasn't going to play if I didn't win. And, you know, I want to put my team in the best position to win. And if we get down to it and that's me playing is how that's going to be, I barely can talk because I don't know what to say. I will play if I feel like it'll help the team.
And if you do play, will you hand over the captaincy or just sort of invite the assistants to just take on a larger role?
No, we've talked about this. I'm still going to be the captain. I put a lot of work into this. This is why I've chosen the guys that I've chosen. And Jim Furyk, who's done this, Sneds and Kiz and all these guys have done this. And you know, we're a team. We talk every day, and you know they can step in when I wouldn't be there for certain things.
Which begs the question: with all that you have going on as a captain, and I can't even imagine how I'm going to say distracting, but keeping you busy. How are you managing to focus so well and play such great golf?
Well, it's an interesting thing in that I when I'm inside the ropes, it's the only time I can escape this Ryder Cup thing. And so sometimes when you can find peace inside the ropes, you know, you play your best golf. And when I leave the ropes, when I go home, I'm 24/7 Ryder Cup. And when I'm able to come here, especially when I'm not playing with a Ryder Cup player, when I'm out with, you know, a person that won't play or from another country, and I don't have to be the captain, it's sort of nice and peaceful. And that's the only thing I can point to, because I was nervous. I had a few people in my camp, you'd say, that didn't want me to do this because they were worried I was, you know, going to play terribly. And I was concerned about it, but I don't know. All
I know is that besides Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy, you sure end up on this desk a lot talking about golf.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm really proud of that.
It's a great segment. I mean, Brandel, he is good at getting these guys going the way that he can bring up the stats. You could see the smile on Keegan's face as he was bringing up that, that ghost player he was talking about, which is obviously Keegan Bradley. I don't know, man. I don't know how this guy can kind of wrap his head around wanting to be the captain and then also wanting to have that fire to be the player. I know that there have been playing captains in the past and it goes, you know, seemingly well, and like it's not the worst thing that could happen for the team. I think that obviously he'll light a fire under the other guy's ass, especially the way he plays. Like that's, and other sports, like your captain always plays. It's like you're usually your best player, your best locker room guy. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's so. He said, like, you got to be kidding me, almost. Like, you could hear it in his voice where he's like, of course this is the year that I'm a shoo-in now for the fucking Ryder Cup. And it's the year that they picked me to be the captain. Like, you can't make it up. Like, it's all he cares about is playing in the Ryder Cup. And then they threw him this, and he's like, all right, I don't have to play it. At least I'll be a part of it. And then bang, goes and wins the Travelers. He has so much momentum. crazy that the timing is coming to this for Keegan Bradley.
I think the last time it happened, it was Arnold Palmer sometime in the 60s. So it's been a long time since.
But wasn't there a playing captain, or maybe it was the President's Cup?
I could have that wrong. I thought I read that the last time it happened was Arnold Palmer in like 63 or something. But
yeah, maybe I'm thinking of the President's Cup because I was actually listening to Fred Couples on the Kirk Minahan show, to bring up Kirk Minahan, and he was talking about that. I think in the 90s that there was a playing captain. I think they were talking. I think they may have been talking President's Cup.
Either way,
yeah, it definitely is not. It's definitely not. An every year thing. It's very,
super
very
rare. It's definitely super rare. And just as a storyline guy, I think I want to see it. I want to see history. And the other thing they got to think about is like, all right, Keegan. He wouldn't be an automatic pick, but he would essentially have to pick himself. He would be one of the 6 picks on the back end where it's like, all right, this is a guy I want to play in this. And the fact of the matter is, right now, at least, we're recording this on June 23rd. I think he deserves to be one of the 6 guys, one of the 12 guys on that Ryder Cup team. Like, if you're looking at it purely from a perspective of like, is this going to help Team USA defeat Team Europe? I think he's in. Like, not only is he playing great golf, he clearly just one of the Travelers, but he is such a fiery guy. I mean, it's weird. He's the captain, so you're going to get that fire regardless because he's going to be in that locker room in one capacity or another. But I just think he's playing so well, and he will up his level a little bit just because it's the Ryder Cup, and he wants to play really well and represent Team USA. Like, if you're asking me, I think Keegan Bradley should be on the Ryder Cup as a playing captain. Like, no doubt about it. I think it would be great, and he's playing spectacular golf as we witnessed this last weekend.
Yeah, I think he for sure should be on the team. I don't think that there's any debate behind that. The way that he's playing, hopefully he can keep it up going into the Open, and then obviously the playoffs and all that goes with it before the Ryder Cup. But I don't know how I feel about the captaincy. I know that he said he's put a lot of work into it, and I know that he's prideful of the amount of work that he's put in, and he wants to be a part of that team, and it's all he thinks about 24/7. But after coming off that loss in Rome, I kind of want every single player, and I'm not doubting his commitment to the actual play. I think he'll play just like everyone else in terms of how much he wants to win. But there's a part of me that thinks like I want my guys just dedicated to one role when you're going into that. You know what I mean? Like it's such a daunting task to go out there and play in these matches, and it's gonna be so fucking crazy at Bethpage that like you almost want him to only care about the matches that he has to play in. There's got to be some doubt in people's minds about him having to wear all of these hats, like Keegan Bradley wearing all these hats. Of all the people, like, can Keegan Bradley handle all that? I'm sure he thinks that he can, and I don't know that he can. I'm not necessarily saying one way or the other. I'm just saying going into such an important Ryder Cup, it might not hurt for him to be like, I'm completely focused on now winning every single match that I play in. I would love for someone else to kind of take the reins, join these guys that I put in charge, and like, let's take this thing home. And like things change. I'm playing my fucking balls off. I'm going to win every single goddamn fucking event. Because it's like, he's still going to be in the locker room. I'm just talking about bringing in another voice now. I'm talking about bringing in Tiger Woods is what I'm talking about. That's all I'm thinking about is bringing in Tiger Woods. Keegan gets to be on that team, which we all want him to be. And let's go win a fucking Ryder Cup. We have enough people to fill in all the roles.
For sure. And I did see somebody
blaring on me right now.
Somebody made the point of, all right, all this stuff that Keegan Bradley has been doing as the Ryder Cup captain, you know, it's a lot of appearances. It's a lot of like, it's a PR sort of run that you're on as you lead up to September. And somebody was saying like, what better way to get Tiger Woods involved than to be like, hey, listen, Keegan has handled all of this administrative stuff that you're not like that keen on doing. All you got to do, my friend, is get that private jet to Bethpage, Long Island in September, show up, be the Terminator, motivate all these guys, and Keegan's just going to play and focus on that. If you could just essentially be a figurehead in this locker room, be the greatest golfer of all time, sort of just have that energy in the locker room. It's not the worst idea. It did sound like in that interview with Brandel that he's pretty dead set on keeping the captaincy. But I see both sides of it. I totally understand where you're coming from, where you're out there, you're playing your matches. And I also don't have a full idea, and I'm not sure anybody outside of the guys who have done it have a full grasp on what exactly, how much bandwidth does it take to be the Ryder Cup captain when the event is happening? Like, I know we talk about on comms, what's happening in this match. You got assistant captains out there with each group sort of reporting back to the Ryder Cup captain, but I would imagine it takes a lot of bandwidth, but like, is it so much that it would distract from Keegan Bradley when he's playing in the matches? Like, once the matches are done for the day during the sessions, like you have all of your capacities. You're back in the locker room. You're talking with your assistant captains, who played well, who didn't play well, matchups, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just generally curious on how much that takes and would it take away from a guy if he's already playing in the event.
I think what you saw from Zach Johnson is it takes a lot, and there's a lot that goes into just the politics of being the captain as well, where you have to do all these interviews and you have to be plugged in, and everything you say is taken by the media and turned into a headline, and then all of a sudden that becomes, the headline for your team. When the USA got their doors blown off, Zach Johnson's like, these guys are playing great. Like, we're not going to change a thing. Love everything about this team. Like, there was no urgency to like play better, and like there was like this real dull feeling from the locker room, and like that all comes from the captain, and like it just kind of got away from Zach Johnson where he didn't know what the hell to say anymore.
For sure.
And every single appearance that he was making was the wrong one. So I think there's a lot of thought that goes into that. And I'm not saying that Keegan Bradley can't do that. We were very jacked up for Keegan Bradley to be the captain all the way up until yesterday when he fucking came charging back at the Travelers and won the goddamn tournament and became the 6th best American in the world golf rankings, where he's gonna be on this team now. Like, and even if he doesn't make it in the rankings, he's going to have to pick himself. He is a top 12 USA player right now. Hopefully he can keep it up, and then we can continue to have this kind of conversation. But at the end of the day, man, like, it's a crazy decision he's gonna have to make to just go into I think going and doing both is a little bit outrageous, and I don't know. I think that he doesn't need to do that. I think the work you've put in, like, we all get it. Like, like you don't have to be the captain. You're going to be on the team. The captain's a pretty damn important role. It's so important.
It's super important. I'm not downplaying that at all. I'm just curious about, because I do kind of want to see it. I do want to see a playing captain. I don't know why. Maybe I just want to see history. Like, it's potentially been like 62, 63 years since it has happened. But yeah.
How do you feel about just the way, and I know that it hasn't happened forever. Have we fact checked that? Has it been like 62 years?
I didn't look.
Is it a Frankie fact?
I can look.
What does that do to just the locker room in general? Like, you're putting yourself out in certain matches. And I know all these guys will respect everything that Keegan does. He's a very respected guy. He's also a little bit outside of that clique, and that's been one of the reasons why he was picked, is that he's not a part of that boys club. He's been very, very vocal about that he's just not part of these friend groups and these pockets in the PGA Tour where he has this group where they all kind of do the same things together and they all pick. And you saw in Full Swing last year, Zach Johnson picked all of his buddies. He had Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas and all these guys over for dinner, and they're like, they bullied him into just being on the team. Like, Keegan's not a part of that crew, and he's been very, very vocal about that. Now you have that guy making decisions on himself, putting himself in matches and in pairings. And it's just like, it's a lot. The last guy that did it was Arnold Palmer in 1963. And now the next guy that's going to do it is Keegan Bradley. Is Keegan Bradley ready for that? And I don't know if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, Frankie's hating on Keegan Bradley. That's not hate. These are warranted questions to be able to bring up about our Ryder Cup team. If Keegan Bradley is the first guy since 1963 that's capable and mentally ready and his game is ready and all that to be a playing captain in what is going to be the biggest Ryder Cup in like our lifetime. You've got getting your ass kicked on the road in Rome. You're coming back now. You're playing Bethpage when golf is at its biggest right now. The whole world is juiced up on golf. You're telling me that Keegan Bradley is going to be the guy that's going to do both of them? It was already a wild pick. Like, I don't want everyone to just like forget how insane it was when Keegan Bradley got picked to be the captain. Everyone was going nuts. It was an out of left field pick. And now all of a sudden the out of left field pick is going to also be a playing captain.
Yeah. These are all good problems. Like, people who say you're hating on Keegan Bradley, he has created these talking points because he's playing so well.
I want him batting first. I want him hitting the first shot.
But there is like, isn't there something beautiful about like I am the captain, I am the general, but I'm also putting on the uniform and I'm going out there and I'm fighting with you boys.
That's Keegan Bradley. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
what?
dude.
He's turned into the Terminator. Keegan Bradley's fucking Derek Jeter now.
He is. I
He's
mean,
the captain. You know what I mean? Like,
well, he's already the captain.
I know, but he's going out there and he's batting first and second, and he's, you know what I mean? He's all over the place. He's the player too.
But
Are we
here's
okay with Keegan Bradley taking over the Ryder Cup?
the thing about him, though, is that he loves the Ryder Cup. He said it in the interview with Brandel. He said, I've been out here for 15 years, and my goal every single year is to make the Ryder Cup team. He said in our video, he said, if I had to get coffee for the guys, if that's what was going to get me a part of the locker room in the Ryder Cup, then I would have done it. Like, we're not dealing with a guy who's just like, oh, wow, the Ryder Cup, that's a pretty cool part of the gig. Like, that'd be great to be on those teams. He's like, I wake up every morning and go to bed every night thinking about the Ryder Cup, thinking about how we can make it better. How can Team USA rise above and just dominate Team Europe? So in this arena, and the conversation about the Ryder Cup, he kind of is that guy. Like, if there were ever a guy who has the moxie and like the wherewithal to be like, I'm going to be the captain, and guess what? I'm strapping on the pads and I'm going out there with you fellas. It kind of is Keegan Bradley.
Yeah, you're making great points, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that he can do it. It's just funny that the guy that was the out of left field pick that really shook up the Ryder Cup, which everyone was excited about. It was no longer a boys club. It's not like this. Everyone's very excited that they're just picking like the best guys possible. We're moving away from just bad Ryder Cup years. You dominated Whistling Straits. You get dominated in Rome. You make this pick. The fact that it's Keegan Bradley that now is going to be that playing captain, to me, there's some humor in that. That like the craziest pick that we've seen is now also going to be the first playing captain since 1963. That to me is like complete chaos now.
You also open yourself up to criticism if you're Keegan Bradley, because say you go out there, you play the Ryder Cup and you don't score a single point, and those end up being really important points to the decision, like who wins the Ryder Cup.
Nightmare.
Then it's like, if you're really playing that out in your head, that's a nightmare. Because like, all right, you're the captain. You can only do so much. Even with the Zach Johnson stuff, as much as he got barbecued on the internet, and he rightfully should have, there was a section of people being like, he didn't swing the club, by the way. He put these matchups together. Team USA clearly has the most talented players in the world. Like, at some point, they got to put their nuts on the table and be like, let's win these matches regardless of what's going on with the captaincy. You start playing and you start not winning points, you really open yourself to a lot of criticism.
To your point, if there's anyone that can live up to that kind of moment in terms of their energy and their commitment to something, it might be Keegan Bradley. He might be the best guy to do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's definitely worth the debate. It's definitely going to spark a lot of debate over the next couple months. Hopefully he continues to play well, because I do want this to be this is a good problem to have. Like you said, like this is
totally
an excellent debate to be able to have. Is Keegan Bradley playing so well that he's going to have to play in the Ryder Cup and then also be the captain? It's all good stuff. A lot of good juice, for Team USA. And it's just it's amazing what the Travelers did. It's just like all of social media, all of the mainstream media in golf has just been lit up over the last 24 hours due to the Travelers Championship, which is hilarious because it's just like everyone's outside. It was like the perfect weekend with good weather and people are at the beach, and you just got this freaking absolute slugfest of a golf tournament that was just completely dominating headlines.
It is true. And he did say, he was like, if I didn't win this golf tournament, I wouldn't even consider myself as a potential playing captain. I wonder how true that is. It might be. Like, if you come in second and he loses in a playoff to Tommy Fleetwood yesterday, I think there's still, maybe not coming from him, but I still think there's some buzz on like, hey man, you're kind of playing, you're one of the best, you're one of the 12 best American golfers at the moment. Like, you might want to think about this thing. It's been ratcheted up a whole other level because he did get the win, but yeah, man, he's just playing really good golf. Good problems to have. I can't believe he's 39 years old. I don't know why I thought he was like 44. No disrespect, but he's in
his 30s. I know.
He's barely older than me. He's like a couple years older than me.
I know.
And we love Keegan Bradley. We absolutely adore Keegan.
3 months out from the Ryder Cup, if he just continues to play well, this is going to be such a great storyline going in. A lot of people are going to be speculating all these different types of scenarios. It's great. It's great for the game, great for the podcast. Gives us something to talk about and argue about. Keegan Bradley, great guy. Always been a fan, and he's always been a fan of Barstool. And I always remember we went to one of the Super Bowl parties, and I think it was like the fifth win for Brady and all them. Maybe was that his last Patriots win? Because he ended up getting. Did he get 6 or 7?
I think he got 6 with the Patriots.
Okay, but I remember him taking a picture with Dave, and they were all holding up, I think, the 5 sign at the Super Bowl party. Keegan Bradley like sought out Dave, and he was like, "Yo."
I can't remember.
I think Lil
now.
Wayne was playing.
They won so many Super Bowls; it's like hard to keep track.
Oh, dude! As a Jets fan, I went to like 4 Patriots parties.
Let's see here. Yeah, you had to. Yeah, you went to a bunch. I think did he end up with 7? Tom Brady. That's something I should probably.
7. There it is. 6 with the Pats.
Dude, I remember Riggs and I early on in this brand, and it was probably 2017 or 2018. Nah, it might have been 2017. We went to the Travelers. Like we drove. We took Keegan's Army shirts, and we just like went to the event, and a bunch of stoolies were there, and we handed out Keegan's Army shirts to everybody, and we walked around and we followed Keegan, and then afterwards we DM'd him. We're like, hey man, we got a bunch of guys here, a bunch of people wearing Keegan's Army shirts. It would be great to say hello. At that point, we were just like, it was a shot in the dark. We were hoping he would maybe respond, but he had just finished up playing. And then like 20, 25 minutes went by, and he DM'd us back and was like, you guys didn't leave, right? Like, come up to the clubhouse and come take a picture with us. So like, he's the nicest dude, loves Barstool, loves everything about it. And like, it's crazy that he's potentially going to be a playing captain in the Ryder Cup. That's such a cool story.
The other side of the cool stories is guys like Jordan Spieth, who had to withdraw from the Travelers Championship. So an injury for Jordan. He tried to play through it, said he couldn't get through it, had to go home. I actually saw that the timing worked out, though, for him because his wife is due in the beginning of July. And she was like, I think he said, my wife's going to be super happy I'm not going to be playing golf now because I'll just be home like as she gives birth, and I'll be with the kids, and I'll be able to be like an at-home dad now. But it does suck to see Jordan going through some injuries. We got to get that guy back, man. Like, you talk a lot about all these guys with fire. Jordan Spieth needs to be a guy that's just in the mix. He needs to be.
I think he said it was the first event he's ever withdrawn from at any level, from when he started playing golf all the way up to where he is now. So that's pretty impressive. And I think Victor Hovland also withdrew with like a neck injury. A couple of guys with neck injuries. I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, it was Hovland. It was Siwoo Kim, Jordan Spieth, Eric Cole. A couple of withdrawals from that, so that sucks. But yeah, Hovland I think withdrew on Sunday, and so did. Well, I think that was just it. Yeah, I think he withdrew on Sunday. But he shot 63 on Saturday and still fucking withdrew, which is brutal.
Rory McIlroy had a pretty good showing. I know there's been a lot of conversation around him, and certainly on this podcast, just about where is this guy's mental state? Is he just what's he doing? Because it's been a pretty bizarre couple of months after his Masters win. He finished, what was it, T6, 12 under. So obviously had a good week, and it's always better when he's in the mix. But I was very curious on when the next time Rory was going to compete in terms of being in contention. It wasn't that long after, but it's been a weird couple of months.
It's been real weird. I got some things I wrote down aside from the golf that happened this weekend that I just wanted to kind of bring up.
I do want to give a shout out to MINJEE Lee, who won the KPMG Women's PGA Championship. They played, the reason I wanted to bring it up is because they played PGA Frisco. They played Fields Ranch East, where the men's PGA Championship is going to be, I think, in 2027. And I was looking at some of the quotes from that event, and the ladies were not happy. They were just like, this place is fucking hard.
And that place is impossible. We played that. It was insane how hard that was.
Dude, we were also shit-faced when we played. I think that was the golf course we did the Fireball Challenge at. But I just wanted to bring that up because we did play that golf course. Yeah, Minwoo Lee's sister. Yep. And that place it made me excited for when the men are going to play there in 2027, because that really is a very, very difficult golf course.
Yeah, and it's a crazy little location. It's like PGA headquarters out there, so that'll be a huge PGA championship. Yeah, that is exciting, the fact that that's very difficult for them, and they'll probably rev it up even more. I mean, the PGA, again, just doesn't have that. There's something about it. It's like every year it doesn't have that oomph. And I saw a lot of people saying that's because they moved it. They want it back after the Open.
No. No.
You don't think that we hit the majors too quick?
I would argue, and I think we have maybe argued this on the show, that that's the point. It's like bang, 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 bang. The PGA Championship is undeniable because the Masters happens, and then it's like, all right, now we're hungry for major championship golf, and bang, the next one that hits you is the PGA Championship. The problem with it when it's after the Open is it's like, all right, we're already on to football. Like we don't give a shit about this major championship golf anymore because you get the Masters, and then you would get the US Open, and then the Open Championship. Those are three that I think most people would argue are the ones that matter the most. And then it's like, all right, let's get this last one over with. I think people are still trying to search for an identity for the PGA Championship to the point where they're bringing up, I think, a pretty crazy idea of moving it back to where it was, which I think would bring on the host of problems we had before.
Yeah, I guess I never thought of it the way that you just described it with like football and other sports like starting up, and you've got all these other things going on. The fall's right around the corner, that you've watched so much golf already that you're probably kind of tuned out by then. And that's probably why we were so hungry for it to be jam-packed all into one kind of summer, spring season. I think once you're in it now and that we're a couple years into it, I do think that there is this like fatigue of it all feeling like it's happening so fast that it's like hard to like get going for each one. You know what I mean? It's like the PGA Championship kind of just came and went, and you're like, oh, that was a major. Like there's no build up. Like there's no, especially now with how spread out the PGA Tour and Live is, and like you don't really see these guys, and like I don't know, it just felt, I don't know, it just feels like there's no build up. You don't know how guys are playing going into it. There's not that many tournaments in between the Masters and the PGA.
The more these conversations happen, I think about like what are we arguing about? Like we don't not watch the PGA Championship. Like nobody doesn't watch the PGA.
Right.
And nobody like looks at, Justin Thomas, who has 2 PGA Championships and is like, he has 0 majors because the PGA Championship doesn't.
Yeah.
But with that in mind, what are we actually arguing about? Like, I understand that the Masters has an identity because it's Augusta National, blah, blah. US Open has an identity because it's the hardest test in golf, and the Open Championship because it's not in America. Like, those are the 3 identities. Like, people always complain about the PGA Championship, and I certainly have done it in the past, but I still watch the golf tournament and I still count the winners as major winners. So what are we actually arguing about?
Yeah, I think just when you're in it, it does just feel like the biggest things are all just like bang, 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 And I don't know, there's just something about it. There's just something. I saw someone debating about it on Twitter, and I kind of agreed with it, the way that they were writing. Like, you don't have a moment to just really feel like you're in a big moment. It's like it's so fast that by the time the Open is come and gone, you're like, we just played 4 majors already. Like, the everyday person is like just playing some golf like now. You know what I mean? Like they're just getting out there, and like it's like the major season's almost done. We're already on to the last one. Like I don't know. There's just something about it. It's like it's fucking fast. It's real fast. When's the Open?
July.
July what? I mean, like July 13th or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Like that's fucking fast for the year to be over. That's all I'm saying.
Well, this year will be different.
And we got a
the
Ryder Cup.
But
I know. But
I actually think the identity of the PGA Championship now is just the one that everybody argues about. Like that, for better or for worse, that's your identity. People are like, where should it be?
This year going into the Ryder Cup, you think that if we had like a nice gap in between the Masters and the US Open, and then you had the Open, and then right now, the way we feel, like after the US Open and JJ Spawn, if we had, and we're about to go into the Open in a couple weeks in July, if at the end of August, right before the Ryder Cup, guys got like a final shot to show how they were playing. They were playing in a major at the end of August. No one like locked in teams yet. Maybe like there could be a guy that like makes the Ryder Cup team based off his performance in the major. Like I know they're gonna have events to do that, but this is a major I'm talking about. Like we would get so jacked up for that. You don't think?
Well, but this is kind of what I was saying before. I'm watching both of them. Like I'll watch it when it's in May, and I'll watch it when it's in August. Like none of these. I'm not now like with where it is positioned on the schedule. I'm not watching it. So I'm like almost not the person to like represent that argument, because if it were later in the schedule, I would watch it. If it where it is now, I'll watch it. So, and I really think that's where a lot of people fall. It's almost just becomes fodder for discussion. But we still count the people who win it as like, wow, congratulations, you are a major winner now. and it's just doesn't matter where it is on the schedule. People are still watching it. So I guess from a build up perspective, but I do think, and this is what happened in the past when it was the fourth major on the schedule, was the casual sports fan at least was kind of like, all right, like I'm just kind of I'm kind of done with the golf.
I just think if you had an identity, it would be you're the final major. If you're searching for an identity, it would be that.
They tried it though.
I know, but like, was it really bad?
Well, then, yeah, no, I mean, it was bad enough where they were like, we'll just move it up. But bad is relative because people are watching this tournament is my point.
I don't know. I think that like in my mind, like knowing like, oh, like the PGA is the final one would give it, it's like, that's what it is. You're searching for a thing with the PGA Championship. And now you're making it like an in-between event from the Masters to the US Open.
Yeah, but they would argue that it being an in-between event forces you to be like locked into it.
Yeah.
Like the guy who, this isn't like the best argument for it, but whoever wins the Masters, you now have to, it's like the Triple Crown. You now have to watch to see who's going to win the second one, because if they win that one, then holy shit, we could have one guy with all four majors.
We do that with we did that with Rory. We did it with Scotty last year. Like, yeah, that's true. No, I know.
I'll be honest. I don't feel strongly either way. I kind of like that. Like once golf's rolling, we're just like major per month for 4 months. Like that to me feels like the best way to get the PGA Championship a level of importance that it didn't have before. And it just kind of keeps its connective tissue for the whole golf season.
Golf is hard, but getting your protein can be easy because One Bars perfected the protein bars with their 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers and 1 Hershey's Cookies and Cream. 18 grams of protein and only 3 grams of sugar. You can hear the crinkling in my hand. We always have these things on us. We'll have them on us during the Ryder Cup. When we go to Boston, it's our Ryder Cup. The Barstool Sports Ryder Cup. We're about to go embark on a crazy round of golf with all the Barstool people there. Now, Trent, I got to ask you, we've got what, like 16 people, 14 people participating in this thing. Do you think there's going to be a hole in one? Speaking of One Bars, do you think anyone will achieve that glory of a hole in one in front of all these crazy Barstool personalities?
I hope so. That would be quite a moment. I would say it seems unlikely. You know, the odds would probably be in the other direction. But if that could happen during the Ryder Cup, I can't think of a bigger moment. Like, especially if it's in a big match for a big point and somebody just jars one. I almost can't even wrap my brain around what a moment that would be.
That is eternal Barstool greatness. If you can
100%.
Because this is like one of the only, we don't really do like the actual sports that often where like you can achieve something great. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of it's talking about it or podcasting about it or making videos about it. This is like actually playing the sport. If someone can make a hole in one where it's meaningful at this event would be, you know, like I said, everlasting happiness. And only 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar is made with Reese's peanut butter, and only 1 Hershey's Cookies and Cream protein bar is made with Hershey's Cookie Bits. One also has other delicious flavors like birthday cake, maple glazed donut, and blueberry cobbler. Buy new 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar on Amazon right now. That's the new 1 Reese's Peanut Butter Lovers protein bar. Get the greatest in golf gaming. PGA Tour 2K25 is your ticket from unknown to unstoppable. Don't miss this limited time deal that I'm about to say right now. For a limited time only, get 25% off the deluxe edition digital PGA Tour 2K25 on PlayStation. On sale right now on PlayStation. This offer ends July 2nd, 2025. Okay, so you have until July 2nd, 25% off the deluxe edition digital PGA Tour 2K25 on PlayStation. We absolutely love it. We are in the game. We're very, very much in the game. We have all of our logos all over the place. This sweater that I'm wearing right now, you can put that on your player as you play in the Barstool Golf Society, which has 40,000 members in it. We have events every single week. And, you know, they've got the US Open in there. They've got the Open Championship in there at Port Rush. You can play a career. I've been playing my career. It's so much fun. You get points and you try and make the playoffs and like you're on your way. You have to try and qualify for the US Open and the Open. It's great. They've got all the marketing and all of the branding of these actual events. You can play in it's everything, the Travelers, everything. It's all right there. So We absolutely love 2K. We are in the game. Make sure you go and get it. Get 25% off the Deluxe Edition Digital PGA Tour 2K25 on PlayStation. Make sure you buy that now. It really is the greatest. Go join the Barstool Golf Society. And also, if you're looking to get into something different, go build a golf course. They've got the best simulated golf course builder you can possibly imagine, to the absolute, like, every little grain of sand and rock and grass you can plant, and it's amazing what you can do. Go watch YouTube videos of the best digital architects. They're getting their hands dirty in PGA Tour 2K25. It's great. So join us in having fun on PGA Tour 2K25. Get the Deluxe Edition Digital for 25% off on PlayStation and buy it now. We're going to get to voicemails quickly. I wanted to rattle off a couple things that I had written down in my notes app.
Please.
Number one being, I just wrote Nanit. So Nanit, this is a dad issue now, I guess, is what this is going to be. Nanit is a camera that you watch your child sleep. Okay, this is a brand. It's called Nanit, and you put it on top of there's a base, and you put and it leans over the baby's bassinet. There's a lot of words that I'm going to be throwing at you right now that you probably have no idea, right? Like Moses basket and bassinet and tubby Todd and you know swaddlers and all these things.
It's a foreign language to a guy like
right, right, yeah. Baby Bjorns and bounce, all these things. There's fucking mamaroos. It's crazy. There's things out there that you can't even believe that are just part of my lexicon now. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Like my vernacular, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yep.
Like constantly using words like mamaroo and bassinet, right? And swaddling and all these things.
Yeah.
Well, the Nanit has this app, okay? And this is just a very faulty, very, very faulty engineering of an app that you use constantly, okay? Nanit is going to tell you when your baby is moving, when it's crying. So, like, you could keep this right now, like, the baby's sleeping in our room, and it's hilarious because, like, I had a cough this week, and, like, you can't cough. So, like, the death stares from your partner are outrageous, where you're like, and you're trying to not cough, so you're going, and you're trying to suppress coughs and you can't do it. So then you want to leave the room, and maybe you find a little crack in a little squeaky part of the wood as you're leaving.
It's like being in public in 2020.
Dude, it's real bad. But like, so that's been my last week. But when you're in the room, you really don't need the Nanit because like you're right there. But it's really for like when they go into their crib, you can check on them and you're doing your stuff and they're napping and then they're sleeping, whatever. It alerts you when they're moving. The Nanit app gives you a notification that your baby is moving or crying, okay? And on the app, I get the notification and I click the notification. And what happens with that is it brings me to a screen that says video is not done processing. So what the app creators wanted to happen was for there to be motion and for me to wait like a minute for the video to process, and then I would click it, and then it would be processed for me to watch what that motion was. But in reality, when you're telling me that there is motion in the crib, I should be able to click that notification, and it brings me to the live screen because I'm trying to look at what the current situation is. And I can't tell you how often I'm hitting this button, and then I have to hit X and then go to live. Every single time you hit the button, it goes to a blank screen that says video is not done processing. So at what point did someone need to come on a big platform like this and be like, you've got it all wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like someone needs to scream this from the mountaintops and say that Nanit has the redirection of the notification incorrect. It's supposed to go to the live screen. I'm talking 100 times a day. I got to click on it and go, it's not right. And then I got to go to the live. It's crazy. My thumbs are exhausted.
Right. It's like if someone's robbing your house and you get a notification from your security system that someone is robbing your house. Correct. You don't care how they got in. You don't care like what's going on. I don't care what window. I want to know if they're still there and what they're taking. Are they rifling through my underwear drawer? What's this guy doing? That would drive me crazy. Yeah. You need just send me right to the live feed. Like, well, so are you able to, like, if you get a notification like that, is there an option where you don't even click on that, but you can just hit like live?
Oh yeah, there is a live aspect. Like once you hit Nanit, it's there. Like it's the first screen. The home button is a live screen. My point is that every notification is to the activity screen, which showed you the activity that they recorded. It's not to the home screen. Okay.
Got it.
And it's a very small issue, okay?
For
in the
sure, but
grand
I'm
scheme
sure
of
there's
things.
people
a lot
out there who are
going on
like-
in the world,
Yeah.
a lot.
Tons.
But this one happens to be at the top of my list.
Okay.
And it's real frustrating. I don't know if Brendan Jones has a nan it, and I don't know if he's experienced the same thing, but it drives me fucking bananas.
Yeah, I wanted to chime in. I don't have a Nanit. It sounds unbelievably annoying though, and I'm not going to get a Nanit. So I appreciate the insight.
There you go. They're not going to be a sponsor, I guess. Sorry about that. I mean, or they will be, and they'll say that we've fixed it. I mean, I used the product. It's just brutal, absolutely brutal how bad that is. My next thing on here was bird nest on fan. So in my backyard, we've got a little gazebo on our patio that we built. It's just like a little, one that you could get at like Lowe's or whatever, that you sit under. We have a little couch under there. It's nice. Got a TV. It's a nice little backyard setup. We put a fan. My guy Hot Rod, he does all the electricity at BORRELLI'S, all the electrical work. He came over and he wired me up a little fan. We got the TV running out there. We got a nice little cloud couch. It's a beautiful little serene area. Every winter, and I guess every winter or spring, I guess I would call it, when we're not out there and everything's kind of like still cold and we're not using the backyard and things are wrapped up, on the fan, a bird always makes its nest on the top blade of the fan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a nice covered spot. It's elevated. It's warm. It's a beautiful spot to have a bird's nest and to lay eggs. Okay, now my situation is usually I'll get to the nest before anything happens. I'll see the formation of a nest and I'll get there and I'll swat it away just so that the bird knows this is not a good spot. Unfortunately, this year I was too late, okay? And the bird has now dominated my fan to the point where I cannot use the backyard. And we are coming up to a situation where I need to remove the nest by Friday, this Friday. The nest needs to be gone. We're having our godson's birthday party in the backyard on Saturday. We got 50 people coming. They had to cancel their thing. It was like whatever. We had to bring them. We're having it at our house now, and we are having a tent and the whole deal. Kids are coming. We can't have this bird's nest in the middle of everyone sitting around eating under it. So I got to get rid of this. The problem is, dude, and this is like National Geographic movie. Like I've got a bird feeding little birdies up there. Look at this thing.
Holy shit.
Dude, that's a real ass bird. And look at those little birdies up there looking for the fucking... What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to kill this? Like, what am I supposed to do? I can't... This is such a bad burden now. Because I can't get rid of this thing. But I have to. And if I move it, like what? With the chicks in there? With the little birds in there? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to grab that thing?
Right, and the problem with moving it is
the mom's not going to know where they went.
That's number one issue.
So I'm now ruining this bird family. I didn't ask for any of this, dude. It's so bad. It's so bad. Look, dude, I filmed. Look at these little baby birds, man. They got little like spiky hairs.
That's adorable. That's an adorable ass little bird. What you might have to do is, I don't know if you're like keeping an eye on this thing, but when the mama bird shows up, super cute. I'm looking at that. It's unbelievable.
Look at the little neck.
You almost gotta move the nest while the mama bird is around, so she knows where that thing is.
Where are we moving this thing? Where am I moving it to? Who am I?
You got a tree?
Steve Irwin? Yeah, I mean, I got a tree, but who the fuck am I to fucking move this thing? I got trees, but like what? I mean, a squirrel's gonna eat this thing for lunch or something.
Yeah,
like it's over.
Well, that's nature. That's just sort of the circle of life. But
I don't want to do this anymore, and I don't even want to know the fact that even if I call someone, like a wildlife preserving hotline, and they come and get it, I already know mentally I fucked this family up.
Yeah, I mean, the only way you're not going to fuck the family up, it's going to ruin your life, but you can't move the nest.
And I ask ChatGPT every morning, and I take a picture of the nest and I take a picture of the birds, and I say how much longer before these birds fly away. It's like 18 more days.
Oh,
I ain't getting there though.
No, you just or you just tell everybody at this birthday party coming up this week, and they're like, no fan. Because it's
not even about turning the fan on. It's like it's right there. It's not that big of a space. It's huge and it's overlapping and there's fucking shit falling out of it. It's like, it's dangerous. Like for, I don't know, you got little babies and kids and shit. And then you get like bird flu. You can't have a bird's nest right there.
Could be a learning experience for them. Be like, look at these, all the children, show them the bird's nest, show them this is cute. We got a little zoo here at the Borrelli household. I don't know. That's a tough one. I got no answer for that one.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do either. I have no fucking idea. What's the other thing? Oh, the next one was everyone that's ever messaged me that you don't live on Long Island. My dad wants you to know you can now order pizza anywhere in the nation from Borrelli's. It's on Instagram. It's on the website. We did Gold Belly with Augusta. We literally got the food from Augusta National to our house to watch the Masters. You now could do that with Borrelli's. So that's exciting. A lot of people have been asking me since I started how you can do that. My dad finally figured out how to get nationwide shipping. He's very, very excited about it. So he asked me to alert the people to let them know that you can try Borrelli's, and he'd love to see you order it and take videos and pictures of you eating Borrelli's. He to him, that's like blowing his mind that someone in Colorado can eat a Borrelli's pizza. He's like excited to go on this journey of like seeing people message him and all these things of holding the pizza, making the pizza. And they actually come out really great. Freezes them. It's amazing. It's amazing what he's doing. The guy needs to retire, but it's amazing what he's doing.
That's
7
really
years
cool.
in business, he's still doing new shit.
That's really cool. Yeah, Gold Belly is, they're an incredible product. That's, people can eat Borrelli's across the nation.
Yeah, it's great. And I think that's it. I had another one. It was like, we talked about the baby stuff. All I wrote was, maybe you could be a purple monkey in a bubblegum tree. There's a song that plays all day. It's this thing from Fisher Price. It's a little fucking, they lay on their back and they kick this little keyboard. And when he kicks the purple one, she sings, maybe you could be a purple monkey in a bubblegum tree, and you can swing back to me. And it's every second of every day. Even when he's not on it, she's got it on. Hannah's got it on. It's just always on. Maybe you could be a purple monkey in a bubblegum tree. And oh, fuck, dude. It's bad.
Really bad. Really bad. A lot of, I feel like every kid has it too. Dude, I don't think little Frankie's watching Miss Rachel at all. But
well, I was just going to say, all this conversation is making me sad about Mr. Jerry.
Yes.
Oh.
I get sad about Mr. Jerry every time Miss Rachel's on the screen.
We saw Jerry. We filmed a Breaking 100 with him. Very exciting stuff. That'll be coming out soon. We played this place, Forest. Was
it Forest Hills Field Club?
Field Club. That's the one that always gets me, because it's not Forest Hills Field Club. Sick little name. Like a century-old golf course, a Tillinghast golf course. Awesome track out in Jersey. Had a great time with Jersey Jerry, but we were talking a little bit about that and Mr. Jerry. Yeah, sad stuff. I mean, he said it was some seriously good stuff that was going to be out there, and he's so funny. Even like off camera, he's like, "Yeah, I'm just, the kids, Frank. The kids are devastated." He's just, there's no one like Jersey Jerry. He's got some other great ideas that are going to be coming down the pipeline here, like phenomenal ideas from Jersey Jerry that people are going to love. He's just got one of those brains that he was built for this, built for Barstool Sports and content creating. The way that he talks about ideas, the way that he goes about them, the way that he kind of draws them up, and how serious he is about them, and how good these ideas are. Dude, I'll tell you after, one of them is so fucking good. It's going to make you, it's like so good. It's so
I can't wait. Yeah. I want, yeah. I know Quiggs worked really hard on that Mr. Jerry thing. Like, damn. I'll always watch anything that Jerry tries at the very least.
Let's get to,
before we do that, before we do that, I do want to give a quick shout out to my Oklahoma City Thunder. We've been talking a lot about this bet that I've had going on for the entire season.
What a hit, Trent.
Thank you very much. For those who don't know, I bet the Oklahoma City Thunder to win the NBA Finals in 2025. I bet them preseason. That was plus 700. I've been talking a lot about it on the show because they've been progressing through the playoffs, and they made it to the finals. They got kind of a lucky draw, you could call it, because Cleveland didn't make it out of the East and Boston didn't make it out of the East. So got the Indiana Pacers. Before the series started, I think they were like minus 800 favorites. Everybody thought they were going to sweep the Pacers. And then these they were just like annoying, these Pacers. An incredible basketball team that nobody thought was going to have a chance against this dominant Oklahoma City Thunder team. And they took them to 7 games, had me really stressing about whether or not, like, I had a couple of buyout opportunities, like the DraftKings Sportsbook was offering me payouts. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. I want to ride with my bet. So I didn't take any of the payouts.
Oh yeah.
Game 7 was last night or Sunday night. And unfortunately, listen, I do have the bet, but Tyrese Halliburton got hurt. Looked like he tore his Achilles. That kind of, everyone's excited for Game 7, even me. I mean, I was stressed out because I wanted the Thunder to win. But everybody gets up for a Game 7, and to have Halliburton get hurt, I think it was even in the first quarter, and it was just sort of a bummer.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, fuck, this is like not what we wanted it to be. The Thunder ended up winning. And yeah, I won $4,000 off my preseason Oklahoma City Thunder bet.
Yes.
So I'm a ball knower. I know ball. If you need to ask somebody about ball, it's me.
Pick is sick.
And it was the only NBA bet I made. I'm not like what I'll do, and I think we've talked about on the show. Like I'll bet the majors in golf. I'll pick a winner for the NBA final. Like I'm not betting every night. That's just sort of not how I do it. So this was the only NBA bet I made. Thunder plus 700 to win the title, and bang, it hit last night. And I'm fucking thrilled.
You definitely had to sweat it because the Pacers look good. Even when Halliburton went down, they still looked like a little fiery. I think they were pretty much down like 2 or 3 going into halftime. Like it was still a game. You had guys like Siakam that were really showing up, and obviously McConnell was going to take over that little power play, point guard role, just running around, and it ended up catching up to him a little bit. He was crying on his mom's shoulder, which is a wild thing to see a professional athlete do, but very, relatable. Having your mom just be there and like being like getaway cameras is insane. But yeah, the Thunder are just, they're suffocating on D, and they're real hard to get anything going against. And once Halliburton went down, I mean, he was on fire too. He went 3 for 3 from deep to start the game. He was hitting logo threes, and you're like, oh shit, the Pacers are gonna win. And I saw people saying like, oh, like I've watched the Thunder and they don't have it tonight. Like in that first half, like they weren't making shots. Like SGA, who I now know from watching this run, I didn't know who he was going into the postseason. I'll be very honest about it.
Yep.
He wasn't really like taking over the game the way that everyone thought that he should. And then the second half, they just dominated. It wasn't even close. They closed every gap that they needed to close. They dominated the rebounds. They just moved the ball quicker. And I mean, at the end of the day, you just kind of make the Pacers frustrated. They end up taking fouls, and it's over. They never had a chance. But yeah, what a win. What a win for Trent to pull out plus 700 on the Thunder when, like, I mean, halfway through the season, they were probably close to even money.
Yeah, no, people started to take notice of them pretty early on. They won 60 plus games. Like they were, I mean, they're dominant. Just young and scrappy, and the defense is crazy. And shout out to our guy Alex Caruso, who I DM with a little bit. He's on the Thunder. He won his second title last night. But shout out to the whole team, man.
It was like Radio Bren. Remember Radio Bren?
I do remember Radio Bren.
He looks just like Alex Caruso.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Radio Bren was our guy. He was my like right-hand man for the radio, for Barstool Radio. Really helped me out a lot. So there's a crazy Radio Bren shout out. Really helped me out a lot. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was the producer of a Sirius XM radio like channel at that point, and I needed Radio Bren to upload the video. We would record every day from 12 to 2. So like 3 hours of fucking of audio. I think that's what it was, 12 to 2, right?
12 to 2. Yeah, that's only 2 hours, but yeah.
Yep, 2 hours of audio. And it felt like forever is what I kind of meant to say. And he had to upload it to the SiriusXM app for me and put all the segments in there. And there was just things I couldn't get done. It was amazing how much I needed that guy when I was like going through the trenches.
God, that
brought
like
me back.
Those were tumultuous times. That's when you were the Grim Reaper. You would come out of that.
Yep.
It was because when it first started, Barstool Radio was 12 to 2. It moved to later once we got to the new office, but 12 to 2, right in the middle of the day, Frankie Borrelli would walk out of the producer room and be like, "Hey, Dave wants to talk to you."
Yeah, hey Trent, you got a second?
It's just like,
motherfucker, you motherfucker. As you're walking in, you fucking, what do you want? And if people didn't want to go in, I'd be like, oh, you don't want to go in? All right.
I'll tell him.
Like, Nate would always be like, I'm not going in there. It's like, all right.
I got dinner with the dog when I was in New York City when we filmed that thing that we filmed. I got dinner with him. I watched Game 6, speaking of the NBA Finals, with him, and I was just like, this is, because that was the game where I thought it was over.
How's the dog doing?
He's good. Good. was good to see him.
He's going to see Oasis with Robbie Fox.
That's right. That's pretty cool.
In July, they're going to go see their first show. It's somewhere in England, but it's their first reunion show in forever. So I think that's going to be unbelievable.
I can't believe that Oasis is getting back together. Honestly, like that's crazy.
I know. I saw they did an Adidas shoot. I think it came out yesterday. It was a huge 2-minute commercial, and there was like reports of how long. There was like an insider report that they had only spent less than I think it was like less than 5 minutes together on the stage, and that the photo is not of them together. They had to like piece them together because they won't be in the arena at the same time. But then they actually responded and said, no, like we were there for an hour and a half. Like, fuck you. Like Noel like responded on Twitter and was like, you don't know fucking shite.
If anybody is looking for a great music documentary, Oasis Supersonic. Supersonic.
So good.
You just even if you know nothing about Oasis, like it doesn't matter. They're so interesting. The documentary's so good. That's a recommendation for you. I'm
like 35 minutes into which is really nothing at all, but 35 minutes into the Led Zeppelin documentary on Netflix, which I was really enjoying, just like how they kind of formed at that point. I didn't get to anything further than that, but it was interesting just to watch like how each guy kind of got into the band. I love watching that, like what moments set up history like that, you know, like one guy meets another guy at school and then he happens to have his guitar with them and then they start riffing together and then like years go by and they find themselves in a recording session together, and it's like at some point they're just fucking Led Zeppelin. It's like, holy shit, dude, you know, really gives you the chills type of stuff. And like the amount of stuff that they were in, they were really good like session recorders. Like they would like play for like movie movie soundtracks and all that. Like they were in like 007 and Goldfinger and stuff like that. Like really interesting stuff. I can't wait to watch the rest of it because once they start actually forming as a band, I'm gonna get so jacked up. I fucking love Led Zeppelin.
I watched Sinners.
Oh, was it too scary?
No.
Okay.
There were definitely creepy parts to it. But it's a vampire movie, but it's not overly. There's a couple of jump scares, but overall it's not that scary.
Is it good?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, I thought you had seen it.
No.
It's on streaming now.
No, I'm just too afraid. That's not my access.
You'll be fine. There's a couple of creepy parts. There's certainly, it's vampires, so you're gonna see a little bit of blood.
Is it like Last of Us type creepy where it's just like, I just want to get through this scene?
No.
It's less.
It's less.
Oh.
It's like there's almost like a comedic undertone even to the vampire parts.
Is it a good movie?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. And Michael B. Jordan's in it, and he's a twin. He plays two guys.
All right, I'm gonna watch it.
Yes.
You know what we're watching right now randomly? My wife's watching it, and it's one of those. She did this to me with Grey's Anatomy, where I'm like, "Why are you watching this dumbass show?" And then I watched 15 seasons with her because I'd just be sitting there on the couch and I'd be on my phone and then I look up and I'm like watching it and then I'm asking her questions, being like, "This fucking stupid show. Why is this guy going to the prom with her?" I'm complaining about it being on.
I hope you're gonna say what show I think you're gonna say right now.
You're never gonna guess this show.
Oh fuck! What is it?
This is an old show. 90210 is the show.
Oh geez, that is old.
We can't stop. She can't stop watching it. I can't stop commenting on it. I keep telling her, I'm like, stop watching this dumbass show. And then I ask her a question about it. I'm like, what? I'm like, this stupid episode. What? So he's just gonna go on a date with her, and she's like, yeah. You want to see it? You want to wait and see if he goes to prom with her? I'm like, fucking fine. I guess so. I got nothing else to watch. I'm like, I can't go in the basement and watch a movie. I'm holding the baby. I guess I'll watch it. Play it. Play the show.
Now.
All right. Oh, we got to watch the next episode now because you just made me watch this one. And now we're 2 seasons. Bro, there's like 10 seasons, 28 episodes in each season, and they're all an hour long. It's like, how many episodes? It got 280 episodes in this fucking thing?
That was back when seasons were like 25 to 30 episodes. You go back and watch Friends. You go back and watch Seinfeld. They were just like, yeah, we want 30 of those in a season. It's like, holy shit.
A couple of the actors are dead already, which is like, I hate watching that where it's like, God, I don't know.
I thought you were going to say Love Island.
No, I saw you get into the mix with Love Island. Everyone's going nuts about this show, but it just doesn't get me. Sometimes it'll get me. Sometimes that reality, like love stuff, will get me. This one just hasn't grasped me. I don't know why.
I
Love Is
wasn't going to
Blind,
watch
the
it.
The first ever Love Is Blind one, like during the pandemic, I think it was. I watched, and I'm like, that's an interesting show. People are like marrying each other; they haven't seen each other. And then, yeah, no, I've missed this whole Love Island.
I wasn't going to get involved because I was a Bachelor guy for a long time, but I did that live show in Maine with Chicks in the Office, and I wanted to have something to talk about. So I just like watched Love Island, and I had opinions on it, and now I'm fully roped in, and my TikTok is full of Love Island stuff, and it's every night. It's 6 nights a week.
Wow.
So
Live?
it's happening right now, and it's not live, but they film them, they edit them, they put them out, but they're on the island right now. So and then I knew I was going to get wrapped up in it, and now I can't stop, and it is what it is. But I'm involved in that, yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot to watch right now. From the Gallery is brought to you by Truly, and the Truly Unruly Lemonade combines the high alcohol fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. Lemonade let loose, 8% ABV, 100% delicious. 4 supercharged lemonade flavors like Bumpin' Blue Raz, OG Original Lemonade, Punched Up Pineapple, and Wild Pink. My favorite is that OG Original Lemonade, but I've heard amazing things about the Wild Pink, the Punched Up Pineapple, and the Bumpin' Blue Raz. We've got these flowing at the Barstool Classics. They're out in Arizona right now. It's 115 degrees on the pavement. Truly Unrulies are flowing.
Bumpin' Blue Raz is my favorite, but they're all good. People have been drinking a lot of these at these Barstool Classics. People love them. They come up to the first tee where we're doing announcements on the Truly first hole, and they're like, these new Lemonade Truly Unrulies are incredible. So shout out to the Truly team that they knocked this one out of the park, and people love them.
Truly is the official hard seltzer of Foreplay. Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. Find Truly Unruly lemonade at a store near you or visit www.trulyhardseltzer.com. The Truly Unrulies are absolutely incredible. Go to trulyhardseltzer.com to find a store near you. There's a lot to get to here, too, in the show. We are going to get to voicemails. That is brought to you, of course, by Truly, the new Truly Unrulies. At my party, actually, this upcoming weekend, we have Truly Unrulies stocked in the garage right now, ready to rip. These Truly Unrulies. Can't wait to get those going. A little higher alcohol content for that nice June heat. And let's go Spud from Minnesota. What a name.
Spud.
Hey guys, this is Spuds from Minnesota. I was just calling to get your thoughts on scramble order. I'm kind of a head case, and I feel like I play better if I go first. I know traditionally you have your better player going last. I feel like we use more of my shots if I actually go first. And then I also think like if you can set the tone with a good shot, then the rest of the team might do well. I know sometimes Frankie goes first and last. Just want to know what your thoughts are on that.
Spud's like struggling to stay awake there, giving us a call, which I love. I'm just calling at all hours of the night. I think that's a great question because a lot of people do play in scrambles at events and at your clubs and at golf outings. And it is a strategic conversation to have with the group. I do like going first sometimes, and I've said that to you guys. Like, I know, and Spud says this, I know that history shows that, like, mostly the best player goes fourth because they get to see the other 3 players go, and then you, as the best player, can react to wherever you guys are at. So if you have a ball on the green, now you can be a little bit more aggressive. If you have 3 balls out of play, you can now be a little bit more safe. And, like, you being the best player, you have the the best chance to achieve whatever your group wants to achieve in that last spot. So I'm not saying that there's a right decision and a wrong decision. I do think that if you're going to poll like all of America, I think they would say that you should probably hit last. I personally agree with Spud where I play better. So if I'm going to be the best player in the group, I think that I'm the best when I go first. So that's where like the issue comes because I feel like I end up having too much pressure on me at the end where I don't hit the shot that I want to hit. So when I just step up to the ball and I hit it and like I don't care where it goes because I know I have 3 guys behind me, I as my own person, like in my own feelings, I hit the ball better going first or second or whatever it might be. I don't know that that's like the most common way that like the better players would feel.
You almost have to, what's the mental state or what's going to make your best player perform the best, basically.
That's correct.
That's because you have done that. Like that, you like to have the illusion that you're playing your own ball.
Yeah.
And you don't like watching me swing sometimes. You don't like watching Riggs swing sometimes.
I've said it to Riggs. I say, I can't watch you do that anymore. And we've been playing big matches. I think even in the Spit and Chicklets match, I'm like, I can't watch it. I can't watch that anymore. I got to just go. Because then like I watch you do that. And then like it makes me feel like my shot's even more important. I just got to hit the ball.
And I think that's fine. Like I do think if you polled all of America in terms of people who play golf and who play scrambles, it is best guy last. But you just want to tailor it towards what's going to make your best player the most comfortable. And I think that's what you got to do.
I think putting, they should always go last. You get 3 reads at it. There's no, around the greens, chipping and putting, there's no reason why you should go first in that. Like Riggs is the best around the greens for sure. And he always goes last and it's amazing how many putts he makes in scrambles. Yeah. He is either in or just off, by a millimeter on all of those putts. So yeah, it goes to show like if you have 3 reads, yeah, you can definitely dial in the putt the best. So if you give us 3 reads, we're such bad putters, it doesn't even matter. So having the best player at the end on the green is for sure the best pick.
Let's do Andrew from Windsor.
Hey guys, Andrew from Windsor calling here. Just about to start your Oakmont video, and I was thinking about honors in golf. I could definitely Google this, but I'd rather hear you guys talk about it. Maybe Frankie will lose his mind. Why do you go first? Like, what is the reasoning behind that? Why is that a thing? I almost feel like going second is a bigger advantage. You see what your opponent does with his shot. You could take it a safer route. Say he drives it out of bounds. I don't know. I'm kind of breaking my brain over it here, and I'm not going to Google it. So please help me out. Love the pod. Thanks.
Wait, so is he talking about a match play?
He's talking about honors. Like it's your honors, it's your tee. Yeah, that is an interesting question. I don't know what the history of it is. We could probably look it up. We could probably see why the person who wins the hole has to go first. Is it like a handicap situation where it puts the other person, like gives them a chance to get back? Because I do think that hitting first is harder.
I've actually always wondered this myself. It doesn't. Yeah, if you're looking at it through the lens of like you won a hole, you should be rewarded, then you should go second. But you might be right. It's almost like when you score, like you're playing one-on-one basketball and you score a point, then the other person gets the ball back. So is that what it is?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I don't know, Brendan. Can we look that up? Maybe ask ChatGPT or something. How historically, why does the person that wins the hole have the honors to go first? Is it just like a mental thing? Like, hey, you won the hole. This is your tee box now. Like, go. Like put the pressure on the other person. I bet that's just what it is. Like they're assuming that you want, as the better player, as the one winning the holes, you want to step up and like keep the pressure up.
Yeah, the quick answer that I got is that it should impact strategy for the player who made the lower score. Like like give them the leg up. But like he's saying, he feels like it doesn't. So I feel like honors should be like
the opposite of that. I would think that when I watch my opponent go, it actually impacts my strategy completely, as opposed to just hitting on a clean slate hole. If I step up to a par 3, 175 yards over the water, and I had just won the hole before, like it's up to me now to just make that shot. I have to decide if I want to hit the middle of the green. I have to decide if I want to go for the pin. I have to decide what kind of club I'm going to hit. I don't get to take any information in from my opponent. I have to do it all on my own. That is a way more disadvantage than watching someone else go. You could see what club they hit. You could see what approach they took. You could see what the wind is doing. You can see what the green did when the ball hit the green, and then you get to make your decision after that. There's no way hitting first is any sort of advantage.
It goes back to what we just talked about with the scramble. Traditionally, you want to have the most information you can possibly have before you swing.
It's reward and recognition. It's a way to acknowledge the golfer's success on the previous hole. Historically, in match play, the order of play was crucial, and playing out of turn could result in a penalty. Honors provide a clear way to determine who went first and establish a smooth flow of play. Teeing off first can offer psychological advantage.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I get that. Like if you're on just like you're on robot mode and like you're going to hit the best shot every single time, you can psychologically psych out the other person. It's like playing cornhole and you get that first shot and you just put it in the hole. You're like, oh fuck, like now I gotta bag this one.
But yeah, I mean, it could easily go the other way too, right? All right, I win a hole, and then if it were reversed instead of how it is now, it's almost like, all right, you better hit a good one or I'm going to win this hole again.
It is important to note that while honors provides the privilege of going first, the player with honors isn't required to do so in stroke play. And ready golf is often encouraged to maintain pace of play. Yeah, I think it's just a match play thing. I do think that going second is way more of an advantage.
I agree, and I think the wind is a really good point. Like knowing what the ball or the wind is going to do to the ball is huge.
Dude, if I'm playing in a match and I just won a hole, and I'm coming down the final stretch, like I'm going to end up hitting first because that's what it is. But like I would much rather be hitting second, knowing like if I can play that next hole safe and I don't have to keep the pedal on the down to the metal.
100%.
Like I just played in a match a couple weeks ago against freaking Matt Barzell. He always beats my ass in all these golf videos. All these guys, like they're just so good at everything. And I always think
you're better looking than them.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Just everything, right? Like it's nuts. But it's like you're coming down the stretch and like you just like even if you win a hole, like you got to step up and do it again. And then like you try and get too aggressive because you want to fucking win that hole, but then you end up hitting a shot and you yank it onto the next fairway, and then he's able to just hit an iron right into the middle of the fairway, get on in two putt for a par, make a bogey, he wins that hole, and he ends up winning the match. Like that's where the strategy comes in, where you hitting second completely changes all your thought process on that hole. He watches me tug one, he just plays one right out into the middle of the fairway with an iron. Everything changed. Driver out of his hand. Damaged all to the right. Doesn't even have to worry about it now. He just gets to win the hole.
That to me is more an argument. The psychological stuff, like it really depends on who you are. But like, yeah, knowing what the other guy has done, it's almost like that you can't do that because then the match is going to end quicker. So you're almost giving them a little bit of like I'll go first again so you can see what I did. Like that to me makes more sense. We
didn't read anything that had anything to do with it, like keeping the other guy in the match or anything.
No, I know, but I'm saying that would be my argument. Their argument is like, there is like a psychological one where they're like, yeah, psych the guy out, really dominate. When for me, it's like giving the ball back to the other team if you score a point. It's like, all right, here we go. We'll give you a shot here.
Do you guys think it should be, because now I'm thinking, I feel like it should be whoever's honor it is, they should make the choice if they want to go first or the other person.
I don't hate that.
So
that's
like
good.
Right, if you have like a win situation like you're talking about, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, you go first on this one. Like I won the last hole, my honor, which is really me making the choice. You go first. That's what I feel like it probably.
You can show yourself, by the way. I mean, we're pieces of shit to look at. There you go. See that?
But that's what I was. That's kind of maybe what he was alluding to, because he's like, I don't know what the advantage is.
People might bitch a little bit about like not having a set thing when you get right up to the tee box is like going to extend the time it takes. Because then if you're like, all right, say you've got the honor, you just won the last hole and you're just standing on the tee box like, do I know what the wind is? Should I have him go first? Like sometimes people get upset about that, but I actually think that's a good idea.
Like if you want honor
just
and
depending
advantage,
on how you feel at that tee, like I'm just gonna step up and fucking shut this thing out, or being like, all right, show us the way.
Right. Like if you deserve an advantage because you won the last hole, which essentially is what people say honor is, then like you should actually have an advantage, and that's like,
I like the choice
to make that decision.
I think that's
There is a
idea.
mental thing though, like when you win the box, like you want to step up there and just perform well. I know that that's just because that's the way it is, that we've anointed that being like a positive feeling of like winning a hole and getting the tee box and like being able to just like compound good things back to back to back. But I think if historically the player got to hit second, we'd all love the fact that we get to watch what the other guy does.
Totally.
I think we're just swept up in the fact that that's what it is. So we take whatever we can get. We make that like a good thing. Like, oh, like we have the box all day. Like it's hard to hit the first shot. It really is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Yeah,
This is a good question. You want to do one more?
I'll do one more.
Hey guys, this is Cam from Virginia. My favorite Truly drink is any one of them that's cold. Just want to call in, especially a longtime listener, and I remember Frankie and Trent kind of doing some numbers, so I need y'all's help on what the odds would be of this. Took our third annual golf trip, had 32 guys for a Ryder Cup. My cousin, who is a 2 handicap, got 2 hole-in-ones, one on Saturday on hole number 8 on a course, and then another one on Sunday on a different course, also on hole number 8.
God dang.
Frankie and Trent's brain, just kind of talk about what the odds of that would be and just kind of see what y'all are there. Love what y'all guys do and keep killing it.
Outrageous odds. Just the numbers do not exist. Especially on a buddy's trip, all those guys, 32 guys, I think he said.
Yeah.
Having 2 hole-in-ones, like you are God. You're a king. You're going back to those cabins in that communal area, and you are pissing on everyone else's ground that they walk on. You are the talk of the town. You are the cock of the walk.
I would say you are all of those things after the first one.
Oh, dude.
And then imagine
going crazy, screams are happening across the fucking property. It's like Mike did it again.
And then the fire pit, yeah, that night Mike walks up and he's like, I did it again. And it's just like, holy shit. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean the numbers, he's gonna get us with the numbers because we don't know numbers, but they're high. The numbers are really, really, really high.
You know what I will say about hole-in-ones? I always feel, and I feel like this is just like a luck thing. Like, you ever go to like a raffle at like a golf outing and then like everybody, like this one person wins everything? I feel like it's similar with hole-in-ones. You'll ask somebody how many they have and they'll be like, oh, I actually have 4. And then you'll ask like a really good golfer, like, hey, how many you got? Like, you have a great swing. And they're like, 0. Like, I haven't even sniffed the hole. I feel like it's similar. Like, this guy that he's talking about might just be one of those like really lucky dudes.
There are people like that. There's people who like, I'm going to date myself here, but they would always win like the radio contests, like be the 9th caller. And it's like, I've won 4 of those. I'm like, I can't even get through the line. I can't even get into what I need to be into. So I think you are right. But 2 in the same trip, like how even often does it happen that there's 2, one guy hits 2 in the same PGA Tour event? Like it just doesn't happen. And that's good golfers.
Yeah. You got a lucky guy on his hands.
Super rare. What are you smiling about, Frankie?
I'm just going through this that hypothetical fucking.
Oh, here we
Reddit.
go. This is gonna be a 4-hour show.
Laugh. They just make me laugh, man. This one was. I'll give you one. I'll give you a couple.
What is this too? Is this a hole-in-one Reddit thing?
No, it's just a hypothetical thing.
Hypothetical situations. And just like the way that people write them out and the responses are pretty funny. This one is: you have unlimited wealth, but no one believes you. You are mailed a debit card. This card has an unlimited balance that can be used everywhere, but no one ever believes you. With every purchase you make, you are met with suspicion. You will be asked to provide ID and you will be hassled. Eventually your card will go through, but no one will apologize for the inconveniences that you face. They'll just look at you with mild disgust. Your card won't work for anyone else. If you try to explain the situation to them, they'll never believe you.
Dude, I'll be honest. That sounds ideal. I'm a really, really, really rich guy and nobody knows.
That's true.
Like people who win the lottery would love to have that situation. Everybody who wins the lottery and tells their family are broke in like 3 years. If I just was like, they're like, yeah, this guy Trent, he's a broke piece of shit, but somehow he's got a huge yacht. I don't know what's going on. He's scheming and scamming somebody. It's like, good. I hope you don't think I have a ton of money.
Outside of just the hassle of like having to show your ID and back yourself up every time, it sounds like, which would just become part of the process. I think that's awesome. Yeah, I think you're spot on.
This one is you get $5 million cash, but every time someone says Bass Pro Shops, your ears hear it at 180 decibels.
That's so specific. God, that's so specific.
I'm gonna need to use some of that money to pay for like hearing damage
like,
or something like
you're
that.
Just like, oh, what'd you guys do this weekend? Oh, we went camping. We stopped at. It's like, no, it's like Bass Pro Shops. Boom! Fuck.
There's blood coming from your ears. Like, what
your ears are bleeding. He's like, what the fuck? It's like, no, dude. It's like, I just said Bass Pro Shops. You're fucking on the floor. Someone finds out. Someone finds out that that's what's happening, and then they can fucking blackmail you into taking all your cash. Or they'll just say it again. They'll just keep saying it.
Wait, is it you get $5 million? That's what you get.
Yeah, but every time someone says Bass Pro Shops, your ears it's in your ears so fucking loud that you fall to the floor.
Dude, the minute anyone finds out that that's your kryptonite, you're toast.
That's not enough money. $5 million is not enough to lose my hearing every time somebody.
I
says
think
that.
Frankie's right. Like, they they like exploit them for the money. It's like, yo, I'm just gonna keep saying this unless you give me this money, and then, and then they continue to say it even after you give them the money. Jeez.
Yeah, I'm a no on that one.
This is the last one. You become 100 generations rich, like as rich as you can imagine. But to achieve this wealth, the only stipulation is that you must travel 500 miles for any meal.
Say it one more time.
You have unlimited funds, but you have to travel 500 miles for every meal.
No way.
Okay,
No way.
Unlimited funds means I could fly private.
You could
to these meals.
That's
I mean,
gonna be
that's
such a hassle.
grind. But each meal you'd have to plan it like crazy, man. Each meal you need to eat like a shit ton because like you got to go another 500 miles.
This guy's saying I'm so rich that every time I want to eat, I'll just hop on the plane, have the guy fly around for a couple hundred miles, and I'll eat on the plane.
No way. It would take up your entire life. You're thinking like, oh, I'm rich, I can do whatever I want. You are now planning out meals. Like every meal is going to take like 5 hours.
Yeah, that's so tough.
You'll be fucking fit though.
No, you won't. You're not going to run 500 miles.
Yeah, I think most people are just resorting to the PJ, and then that's a pain in the ass. Ugh.
You got to do that every time you want to eat. That's your whole life.
You'd have to change your whole eating schedule. You'd have to eat less.
I love these things, man.
You'd have to eat significantly less because you can't. Those multiple flights in a day, no shot.
No, that wouldn't be worth it. That one's a no for me as well.
Trent, I watched the finals literally thinking of you the entire time. I'm like not a huge basketball guy, but the whole time I just was like, I cannot believe Trent's gonna hit.
Yeah,
you're a ball
Good
knower.
one, man. They were down at half. I thought they were. I was like, they're gonna not have Halliburton, and those Pacers, they're so pesky. Like they would just hit every big shot and every big moment, and I was like, man, is this magic really gonna continue even without Halliburton? And then as the second half started going, I was like, all right, I feel a little bit better. But at halftime, I had my doubts, big time.
I think we'll talk a lot about it on the next show, but because we will be recording closer to it, but the Barstool Ryder Cup, there was a lot of Ryder Cup on today's show with Keegan Bradley, deservingly so, but the Ryder Cup is being filmed this week, which I'm sure people will see on social media, and that is going to be electric.
Can't wait. Headed to Massachusetts tomorrow morning.
It's going to be incredible.
Yep.
It's going to be absolutely incredible. It was so good 2 years ago. That was the week before my wedding.
Was it
Remember,
really?
I didn't want to get sunburned, so I wore that big freaking hat, and then the clips went crazy viral, and I was in this big ass sun hat.
Yeah, there's a Dave clip that I still see to this day.
I'm back to like moon face Frankie. Like we've just been eating like, you know what the problem is? Everyone comes over, and then they bring pizza, and they bring we'll bring burgers,
bagels.
Oh, we'll bring bagels, and it's like you look at each other and you're like, we've had pizza and bagels every day for like 3 straight weeks. Because you don't want to say no to anyone. They're like, hey, we're coming over. We're bringing pizza.
Bottle of wine.
Yep. Bottle of wine. We'll come see the baby in his bassinet.
It's all well and good. And then you just, like you said, you tack on a couple of peas and dad waits there.
Dude,
like, immediately.
It's like, she looked at me the other day. I turned over. I said, what? And she goes, oh boy. She was like, because it's like, it's there, man. You see, like it's there.
Yep.
Tough.
It's not about you anymore. It's all about Frankie
no, it doesn't
Boy.
matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's all Frankie Boy now. But
before we end, shout out to Mount Rushmore. I went to Mount Rushmore this weekend.
Mount Rushmore.
The expectations weren't high. I thought I was just going to roll up like on a rock and just have a good weekend.
Because we skipped it, because I think Trent talked us out of it.
I did, yeah.
When we went on our trip from Iowa to fucking North Dakota, Trent goes, we're not driving all the way to South Dakota. We went through South Dakota. He goes, we're not driving all the way to the to Mount Rushmore. It's not worth it. So I was really excited to hear how Brendan felt about it, because I was taken away from me.
It was like 3 hours from Sutton Bay. I googled Sutton Bay like when I got there, and I was like, yeah, this shit's far. But dude, it was great. Like they set it up really, really nice. You know, like you walk in, there's like like flags lining the entire thing. It's like a huge American monument. Obviously, you feel an incredible amount of patriotism and like national pride and all that. I thought I was like I was just gonna roll up to like a viewing area and like see these faces on a rock, and it just like wasn't it. They had like a little cafe in there, coffee shop, ice cream shop, gift shop. There's like a little trail that you could get a little bit closer. I took like 1,000 pictures. I was like, this is way better than I thought. And then we went again at night, and it was like even cooler. So yeah, I would say, if you could get to Mount Rushmore, get there. It's in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You fly into Rapid City, South Dakota, and then it's like a 25-minute drive from there. But yeah, if you could plan a trip in that area, maybe a golf trip. There's definitely a lot of good golf around there. Squeak in a little Mount Rushmore viewing. Dude, it was cool. It was really cool.
Trent got stuck in the ice cream shop. That's where he didn't. You were rattling off all these things. He didn't leave the ice.
Listen, it didn't blow my mind, and I was a kid when I went, so like everything blows your
Trent
mind.
saw
When you're
4
a kid.
scoops of vanilla. He didn't see the fucking 4. He didn't see faces.
What presidents? What are you talking about?
At night,
No, I just didn't. Maybe my like 9-year-old or 10-year-old brain was just like, I don't know, man. I'd rather be playing video games than looking at this. It wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I think it was my main takeaway. It was just like, it's pretty small.
So I said that same thing, but then I said to my friend, I'm like, yeah, granted, it doesn't look huge from where we're at, but like if I were to go stand on like George Washington's nose, I would be an ant, right?
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, but from where you view it from, it looks much smaller.
Yeah. So, but it's cool.
Who are the 4? Brendan.
It was George Washington, Abe Lincoln, Teddy Roosevelt, and Andrew Jackson.
Yep.
I forgot Andrew Jackson before the trip. Like my buddy Brian was like, "You got all 4?" We were at dinner on like Thursday, and we went on Friday, and I was like, "I've listed the first 3," and I was like, "I got no idea who the last one is." But yeah, they're great. Obviously, well done. I don't know. Anytime you're like that too. Like you guys like to do tour shit, but like anytime.
Wait, no, we were wrong. We were wrong there.
The Thomas Jefferson?
Yeah.
It's Thomas Jefferson.
Yeah. I was gonna say Andrew Jackson didn't sound right.
Wrong.
I was gonna say Thomas Jefferson, but I felt like a fucking moron if I was gonna correct the guy that just got back from there.
Yeah, no.
True. I'm glad I looked that up because people would be like, "Wow."
I probably said Andrew Jackson at dinner, and he corrected me to Thomas Jefferson.
Damn, that's embarrassing, man.
Cool.
I actually listened to the guy Ken Burns. You know Ken Burns?
Fuck yeah! I watched
yeah.
Just this last weekend, I watched his documentary on Ernest Hemingway. It was phenomenal.
So, bro, Ken Burns, obviously a lot of people know. You watch him in school, too. A lot of those documentaries. He's a PBS documentarian. He was on Joe Rogan. His voice is as boring as sin. It makes it's like tough to listen to because he's so he just talks and talks and talks. And is so quiet and like mild tempered. But he's so knowledgeable that he's one of the more like interesting people to listen to talk. So I highly recommend people listen to that episode. Just how impressive he is to be able to just rattle off like what happened in like the American Revolutionary War and the Civil War and all these things and all these great American, stories and all of our founding fathers and all this stuff. It's really, really interesting. So, I mean, if you're coming off a trip from the fucking Mount Rushmore, definitely if your patriotism boner's flying high, you want to give a listen to that because it's crazy. Like the stuff that like George Washington did, like, and you just like don't realize like how important all that shit was to actually like even just like they were losing battles and he wasn't that great of a commander in chief, but like was so like he wasn't that good of a planner and was like losing battles. He lost the Battle of Long Island. Like he's saying all these things. I'm like, I didn't know any of this shit. But like him showing up to like the front lines and getting guys like jacked up and like winning battles that they never should have won. Like his actual physical presence. And then Ken Burns saying things like, this guy didn't like have to do this. Like he was rich. Like he married a rich woman. Like he could have just chilled, but he like dedicated his life to like making sure that this became a country. Like that to me is like, you don't like, who are these types of, he's a superhero that came through. And obviously he has his faults, right? Like that whole time of history is like, has many, many faults, but they didn't know any better, to be honest. But he fucking, the things that he was able to do is like, even to me, like I went through school and like I learned about all these things, but you forget how insane. I guess the older you get, the more you realize how incredible it is that they were able to achieve what they were able to achieve. Because I'm just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
31 years old, I can't do anything.
Dude, you also
going out there creating countries.
That's the thing that's crazy to me is they're fighting for something that you don't know what it is. Like now you're like, it's America. But like, and obviously we got to this point where we are now. But he was just like, I don't know, let's be a fucking country and hopefully it works out.
Benjamin Franklin at one point like read like their pitch and he's like, no one's gonna give a fuck about this. They're all just like everyone's comfortable.
Yeah,
like they want to give all this up You know, they're just like, they're regular workers. Everyone's just like living life. Why do we want to build something? Like, it's not going to work.
Dude, the kid that I went with is a history teacher, history buff, obviously, like while we were there. And he was like prepping us on everything. He's like, you guys don't understand like what the founding fathers did and how it still impacts us every day. And
it's
like,
crazy.
None of us know. Like your buddy who's a history buff, him and like his other history buff buddies know. The rest of us are just like, where's the closest McDonald's? Like, this rules. Like, that's it.
It gets to me too, where if you get like too like wrapped up in history, like people that dedicate their whole lives to history interest me. Because it's like you're living your whole current life talking about things that already happened.
Right.
Like that. But it actually does propel people into having a better future. Because you like learn from everything and you have like an appreciation. It like sets the tone by like hearing where you came from. Something about our brains as humans, like that helps us move forward. Like if that all just got wiped away, we'd just be like living in no man's land. You need to have some structure. And like know like why something was hard to achieve or where it came from. Like that to me is so interesting. I think about a guy, Ken Burns. His whole life is dedicated to just telling stories of like what other people did.
Yeah,
he has documentaries on baseball and like everything, dude. It's crazy
because there's a lot of
and
things.
He didn't take a single dime from like a Netflix or a Hulu. He just did it for free on PBS because he knew that the most people would see it.
Because there's things in history that you do not want to repeat themselves. That's why it's so important.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll do it. That will do it. Got to get all geared up for the Ryder Cup, drive up there, get yelled at a bunch of times, I'm sure, and just try not to have a heart attack. That's usually the biggest thing when I'm in that group is to not have a heart attack.
Yep.
You got everyone. Dave's in the mix. Last year, 2 years ago, I almost had a heart attack on that on that final tee. I popped that little hybrid up, and I almost had a goddamn fucking heart attack.
You said at some point you were like, "Are we gonna have any decorum?" And that was a fat no. Like, of course not.
Yep.
I don't even think I know what that word means.
At some point, we got to have some decorum or something. I think that's what you said.
Because they were talking to my backswing, right? They were trying to get me going.
That was on the first tee.
Yeah.
Or no?
I think that was on. Yeah, that was on one.
Yeah.
I piped one down the middle.
You did, yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I haven't really played this week. People think we play golf every day. I haven't played. I've played once in the last 3 weeks. So I played with Jerry, and that was it. So we're going in cold.
We'll see. Be fun.
That's a show. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Trent, Frankie, and Brendan show. We will be back on Thursday from the Ryder Cup. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.